When Long Qingxie recalled the scene and mood at that time, he still felt as if he had been twisted by something. At that time, Yunwu was like a broken doll, fragmented, as if the fragile touch would completely disappear, so that he did not even dare to hold him. There is almost no hope to save the person whose body has been hollowed out in front of him. However, Jinbao has made a wound on his paw, which is full of tears, but he still stubbornly drops the blood into Yunwu's mouth. Long Qingxie just watched Cloud Dance be repaired quickly with the speed visible to the naked eye, but he didn't want to investigate the identity of Jinbao. Now Cloud Dance lost ability, almost no difference with ordinary people, but he is very happy she is still alive. However, we should leave this land of right and wrong as soon as possible. After finding a relatively hidden cave, Long Qingxie puts the Cloud Dance on the ground and asks him to fly out after 2 words. The bright and soft expression on Yunwu's face darkened quickly. With a gloomy face, he continued to feel his body carefully. It was still empty, but his body was very light. But in this world where the strong are respected, this is not enough. However, she is Yunwu, a miracle doctor and killer. What's hard to get her? Even if she lost her strength now, she will try to recover. Taking back his mind, Yunwu looked down at Jinbao in front of him and asked softly, "Little guy, do you know how to restore my cultivation?" After pausing for a moment, he chuckled again with a slight self-mockery, "My brain is broken with me. What's the use of asking you?" As if he was talking to himself, Yunwu was silent. He looked at the scenery at the entrance of the cave and pondered for a while. There is no doubt that at this time, she is a full burden to Long Qingxie. She knows that Long Qingxie will never feel that way, but she doesn't like the men who drag her down. And the only solution is to find a way to restore strength. Dragon roll, by the way, tornado. If you can find the dragon tornado, maybe there will be a way to restore your strength. However, is it so easy to find the tornado? Xiaomu needs to kill a 5-star club branch to get it. But now that she has lost her strength, she says that she wants to destroy a 5-star sub-rudder. It's a bit of a fool's dream. Damn it. That's a lot of trouble. The more you think about it, Yunwu gets upset and stares at his fingertips. Even the dragon has not noticed the evil coming in. Also, where does she have the ability to notice the whereabouts of Dragon Qingxie at this time? First of all, let's go together when the Zisher site opens today. After Long Qingxie handed some fruits to Yunwu, he began to make a fire and wanted to roast the rabbit he had just hunted. The Cloud Dance over there has not moved for a long time. When I look up, I find that the Cloud Dance has a face full of desire for words. Say what you want. Long Qingxie takes back his sight and bows his head. He knows that Yunwu's mood at this time must be better. Naturally, he doesn't want to laugh. He asks in a low voice and starts to make a fire again. Yunwu bites his lower lip and finally says what he wants in his heart. I still won't go. What's in the cerebellar pouch? Before Yunwu finished, Long Qingxie suddenly lost his things. He went to Yunwu and picked her chin. His scarlet eyes were staring at Yunwu. Are you afraid? No. Yunwu knocked off Long Qingxie's hand and frowned. I'm a drag on you now. In this situation, it's not as reliable as your own. In fact, Yunwu did not want to drag him down. Perhaps, this is the inferiority complex hidden at the bottom of people's heart. No matter how strong you are, one day, when you suddenly find that you have lost your dependence, you will become a little bit insecure. No way. Long Qingxie's eyes take a serious look at Yunwu, then take the fruit he just picked and wipe it twice, and put it in Yunwu's hand. My woman is not a burden. If you feel that you are a drag on me, why don't I let go of my strength and let you protect me? Smell speech, Cloud Dance not from a lung. Immediately, the bottom of my heart can't help shivering. I can't help looking up at the man in front of me. For the first time, I feel that my nose is sour. This man, how can he know so much about her weakness? Well, fool, if it's a drag, it can only be said that I dragged you down before. If you want to shrink back, I'll accompany you. Cloud Dance can't help but smell speech, finally can't help but white his one eye. Who said I want to retreat? But thank you for the stimulation. I'm very helpful, so I'll go. That's good. With that, Long Qingxia rubbed her hair with a childlike expression. However, her eyes were tender. Cloud Dance depressed clap open his hand. However, the bottom of my heart is really feel to rekindle some kind of fire. Now she has no strength all over her body, so she can't look up the dragon scroll. She wanted to ask Bai Lao, but Bai Lao has been sleeping since last time. This feeling of starting up empty-handed, it's really a little familiar. Helpless sigh. However, I have decided to rise again. Now I have to speed up my time to come up with solutions. Otherwise, I can barely pass the level of ruins. What about the temple map? Soon the fragrance overflowed in the cave, and even Jinbao, who had been sleeping because of fatigue, was lured to wake up helpless. Looking at Long Qingxia carefully tearing the rabbit meat into small pieces and feeding it to Yunwu, this is red eye. At this time, it is more red because of greedy eyes. It's funny to see Yunwu. Little one, come here. Long Qingxia naturally noticed Jinbao's drooling look, but he waited patiently. When his big eyes almost fell out of tears, he laughed softly. Jinbao looks at their smiling faces and the rabbit meat in Long Qingxia's hands. He swallows his saliva and sends out a short breath in his nose. He turns his fat little body around. I don't want to talk to you. Cloud Dance laughs. This appearance really let her no matter how can't connect with that golden huge figure. No? That's fine. Long Qingxia was too lazy to entangle with the little guy. He took back his hand lazily and prepared to wrap the rest in leaves for Yunwu to eat when he was hungry. As a result, before their words fell, a golden light flashed in front of their eyes, and the hands of Dragon Qingxia were empty. And some guy who just had a proud face, just ran to the corner and tore it with his not-so-sharp teeth. What a freak! Cloud Dance shakes his head and smiles. His eyes are full of helplessness. I really don't know how to evaluate the guy in front of me. It's kind of like you. Long Qingxia doesn't miss any chance to tease Yunwu. After getting a wink from Yunwu, he just stopped laughing and looked at Yunwu seriously. Little thing, what did you think then? If you take that pill, you will have serious sequelae. Why? Cloud Dance casually looked at the dragon, leaning against the stone wall. Although you are evil and immortal, I don't want to make you suffer from the pain of re-debonding. Moreover, I also want to tell you that your woman is not so weak, only knows how to save her life. After a pause, Yunwu suddenly sat up straight and looked at the dragon carefully. I used to be a goshawk to compare with you. Now I have lost all my accomplishments, but I will never drag you back. Long Qingxia, you remember, I have never been a weak person who needs others to protect me to live in peace. I will definitely restore my accomplishments and look down on the world side by side with you. Don't look down on me. What Yunwu doesn't know is that her words today make the dragon pour evil as if engraved into the soul to remember eternal life. When she thinks about it, there will be a kind of palpitation from the heart. He knew from the beginning that she was never a simple woman. Otherwise, she would not have been haunted by her from the first sight. His woman, absolutely not vulgar. Long Qingxia looks at the Cloud Dance, and his heart can't hide the palpitation. However, at this time, he suddenly felt uneasy. It seems that something will happen. Then I thought about it. The serious things happened in the daytime. Where can we go now? What's more serious? In this way, Long Qingxia relaxed and leaned against the tree trunk to wait for the sight to appear. There is a little breeze at night, which strikes the leaves and rubs against each other, making people feel drowsy. As time went by, Long Qingxia suddenly straightened up, frowned and looked around. He just felt something. But below is still quiet, steals the moonlight to cut out the hazy edge. The shadow is graceful. The dragon inclines evil also did not feel any other strange place. Is he thinking too much? Long Qingxia's deep thought narrowed his sharp eyes and swept all around. Only after half a sound did he take back his sight. In the twinkling of an eye, he looked at Yunwu, who was holding Jinbao in a daze. His eyes were incredibly soft. Maybe he didn't even find this change. Deep in the night, the place previously recorded on the parchment is surrounded by a range, and the halo begins to appear around it. In the dark night, it is very conspicuous, but extremely soft. Yunwu gets up and stares at the place. Although she doesn't have any yuan force in her body now, she is still sensitive to the majestic force. Is this the site with the temple map? It's so powerful before it's opened. What will happen if it's opened? Cloud Dance's breathing can't help but compact up, watching the halo gradually become strong, expand, and finally almost the whole range is shrouded in the light again. Suddenly, the left hand was suddenly held. Let's go. Long Qingxie was attracted by the power of that place, so he seemed to ignore the two figures behind him because of the stronger light there. Good. Yunwu nodded, then he was caught by Long Qingxie, jumped down from the tree and rushed to the other side quickly. The person behind secretly exchanged a look, crumpled a charm in hand, and then lowered his body to follow. With the distance getting closer and closer, Yunwu unexpectedly found that the light did not become dazzling. On the contrary, it weakened a bit after they approached, which was enough to light up the road in front of them and not hurt people's eyes. Just Cloud, surprised, did not find the arms of Jinbao. That pair of red eyes are flowing with a touch of golden light. But the two men who followed behind them suddenly shrank their pupils, and before they could even utter a scream, they were crushed into powder by the light around the site. Long Qingxie, who was driving forward, suddenly stopped and looked behind him. There was a trace of doubt in his eyes. What's the matter with you? Dragon Qingxie suddenly stops. Cloud Dance looks up at Dragon Qingxie. Just Dragon Qingxie turns back. Evil spirit of hook-up lips. Nothing. He just clearly felt that someone was following him. How could he disappear in the blink of an eye? Did he feel wrong again? Even if Long Qingxie is careless, he already feels wrong at this time. What's more, he is a person with extremely sensitive intuition. However, I didn't say anything at the moment. Seeing that something similar to the entrance was about to arrive, I raised my vigilance again and put Cloud Dance down. It's just a little strange. The place covered by halos seems to be clean, even without gravel. However, if they can see themselves at this time, they will find that there is a faint golden ring on their body, which is constantly offset by the halo and becomes more and more powerful again. Of course, at this time, both of them are in a daze and don't know it. Imperceptibly, the two men came to the entrance. In front of the door was a prominent ferocious animal head, grinning. Yunwu stepped forward and pressed it down. After a loud noise, the huge stone door slowly opened, and the halo seemed to be suddenly absorbed and slowly disappeared. Yunwu and Long Qingxie also saw that there was no grass in the dense jungle around them. The ground was as smooth as if it had just been repaired. There was not even a stone. What's going on? This situation, if two people still can't detect the difference, it's too stupid. However, it is clear that no one can answer this question. Brush. All of a sudden, a small voice came from the attack of a stab. Long Qingxie frowned and pulled Cloud Dance into his arms. See, Cloud just in the place of the stone wall suddenly more than a dagger, Dinga inserted in the stone wall, the ends slightly tremble. Long Qingxie's face was ugly and he turned to look behind him. Sure enough, I saw two people with obvious high accomplishments, followed by several similar elite disciples. The man of the beast gate? Their special breath is undoubtedly the most obvious feature. Smell speech, that walk to lead a person to smile slightly, come forward. The next is the upper boundary. The 10,000 Beast sect assigns the Lord, Lian Sun. Lord Lian talked to him, but the Lord told us to solve it quickly. Another looks more rough crazy face is full of impatience, seems to want to be able to take the hand to solve the general dragon evil. Brother Muzwa, it's not good to be so impatient. Lian Sun did not hurry to say a word. Then he put his eyes on the dragon again, as if they were not enemies at all. He was still kind. You are the young leader of the evil family, Long Qingxie? I've heard so much about you. Long Qingxie didn't speak, but he just protected Yunwu behind him. A pair of shadowy eyes were staring at Lian Sun, who was gentle but uncomfortable. Cloud Dance is a deep heart. Even if she can't feel it, she can see that the smiling tiger is absolutely unfathomable. This time, it's probably more difficult than she imagined. Lian Sun was not annoyed when he saw that they should not. He just shook the folding fan in his hand and said, "You should understand the purpose of our trip. Why don't you come to an end by yourself? In order to avoid wasting more time, the site has not been opened for a long time. If you miss this time, you will have to wait for thousands of years. Well said, it's arrogant. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed, but a gloomy smile came out of the corner of his mouth, and his voice was cold. This elder brother is very big tone. Isn't it afraid that the skill is inferior to others to wipe his face? You are so arrogant, I will teach you a lesson. Lien Sun hasn't made any response yet, but Mu Zue, who is irascible beside him, first steps out a pair of knives from his hands and rushes up with a roar. Long Qingxia's eyes sank and his mouth sneered coldly. However, he didn't despise the enemy. Although I despise this kind of person with simple mind and reckless personality, for the sake of safety, I still pushed Yunwu back and put a protective cover on her before fighting. The épée in Long Qingxia's hand collides with Mu's was double sabers again, and the two sides' spiritual power is competing secretly. After the huge aftereffect of collision, the two sides are separated, and Long Qingxia's face is dignified. In front of him, although he looks like a man of 5 big and 3 thick, with typical developed limbs and simple mind, he didn't expect that his strength was really good. No wonder they are so impatient that they have some strength to solve them. The blow just now was extremely difficult. If you add that unfathomable person, it's really hard to deal with. However, the man named Lien Sun doesn't seem to have the intention to help. He shakes the folding fan and smiles. His eyes fall on Yunwu from time to time, which makes Long Qingxia very uncomfortable. In the collision with the left side of the wood together, but also a bit more flavor of quick decision. Seeing that Mu Zue was struggling, those disciples didn't even plan to help. Yunwu was surprised, but he didn't dare to act rashly, for fear that he would become the weakness of Dragon's evil spirit, so he could only stand in the same place with Jinbao. However, they don't know that Mu Zue's school is famous for its irascibility. No one is allowed to help when fighting, and the one who helps will hate the other. As a result, they have formed the habit of looking on coldly. No wonder they are. After a few rounds, Mu Zue was stabbed in the shoulder by Long Qingxia and was defeated. He had to retreat to the team. When he covered his shoulder and looked at Long Qingxia, there was an obvious hatred in his eyes. Long Qingxia didn't care much. He took the sword calmly and looked coldly at Lien Sun, who was clapping. Long Xiaozhu is really good at kung fu. His swordsmanship is so exquisite. I don't know what his spiritual power is. I want to ask for some advice. Speaking to the dragon in front of the evil, fast even dragon evil cannot help but flash a surprise. The épée swung, but was blocked by the folding fan. Dragon Qing evil eye sun mi, the eye bottom deep place flits past a touch of undercurrent. Now we can't waste too much spiritual power, otherwise we don't know what will happen when we enter the site. Now he can only try to save energy to prevent being weak when dealing with emergencies later. Cloud dance is pursed lips, eyes staring at the man with a folding fan. The heart has a bad premonition. Lien Sun didn't know whether he was intentionally or unintentionally, but he didn't use his spiritual power. Instead, he took the folding fan that looked like a treasure and kept on attacking, with the same smile on his face. Long Qingxia couldn't figure out the intention of the man who looked like a gentle child. He could only deal with it while thinking about how to get away. Just thinking about it, one dodges the side body, but suddenly sees the cloud dance there. A person is quietly approaching. Little thing back. Cloud dance is early in the dragon poor evil that words fall. The eye ground is cold a heavy, in the back neck of a cold wind hit, the body quickly a flash. Holding Jinbao in one hand, holding a special silver needle in the other. Although the silver needle she ordered this time was thin, it was very tough. It was about the length of a dagger. If she held it in her hand, it could be hidden in a slightly wider sleeve. When this group of people appeared, she had already taken it out for defense. Poof! A piercing sound. The man who sneaked on did not expect that he could not feel the breath of his ability from this woman. He even had such a skill, a slight enemy, and lost his life. Long Qingxia was relieved, and then he turned back and looked at Lien Sun with a gloomy face. What are you going to do? Although their relationship with the Beast Gate has reached the point of immortality, But now this kind of cloud dance only barely has the ability of self-protection. It is not suitable for too much entanglement. The sect leader ordered that 2 heads be taken from their heads to get the map of the temple. Lien Sun is still smiling, just a little more cold in his voice. However, as soon as his words fell, a dazzling light suddenly burst out from the plain folding fan, and with a strong sense of destruction, he attacked the dragon. Want our lives? Then I'll see what you can do. Dragon Qing evil eyes a dark, dodge away, also no longer retain strength, a black breath swept by, will be stunned even Sun directly fly out. The man's white clothes were immediately stained with blood. The rest of the disciples saw that the 2 patriarchs were injured, so they immediately took up their weapons. For a moment, the scene became a bit chaotic. These people are all elite disciples who have been screened. Naturally, they are much better than the people they met before. Long Qingxia looked at someone approaching the cloud dance. His face sank, but he had no skills. For a moment, he wanted to give birth to 2 more hands to open the group of forgiving flies around him. Yunwu looks at the person who wants to get close to him. There is no panic in his eyes. On the contrary, he has a faint feeling of ridicule. Holding Jinbao in his hand, he ducked a wind blade. The silver needle in his hand stabbed the man's heart mercilessly. When he pulled it out, it brought out a blood stain, and his face did not change. A fireball suddenly hit Yunwu. Although it was stopped and offset by the shield set by Long Qingxie, Yunwu was shocked to step back 2 steps, and his face was a little ugly. This is not the way to go on. A few more, she will not be able to continue to support. Gnash teeth, the corner of the eye glimpses the light inside the ruins door has been dark down, some irritable and dodge a person. At this time, a person hit, cloud dance finally no longer dodge, backhand grab the man's wrist, a crisp bone fracture sound accompanied by scream. Dragon! Quick fight, quick decision. Hearing the voice of cloud dance, Dragon Qingxie didn't make a sound, but it also contained strength. At the moment of Lien Sun's attack, a die, with the power of dark corrosion, suddenly attacked and left. At that time, the dragon suddenly stepped back, several leaped to Yunwu's side, reached for Yunwu and flew to the slowly closed ruins. Chase Lien Sun's face was scratched. In a painful torture, he forgot his demeanor for a moment. He covered his face with a roar, and at the same time he flew out to chase him. As soon as Yunwu and Longqingxi ran in for 2 steps, the light suddenly went out completely. In front of their eyes, it was dark. It seemed that they had stepped on something soft and uneven. When it lights up again, it's like a palace in front of you. It's dilapidated and dusty. No need to guess, this should be the so-called site. This place is worthy of the name of ruins. Just out of danger. Cloud dance relax, can't help joking. Dragon Qingxie's mouth outlines, grabs Yunwu's hand and goes to a similar exit. They didn't find that in this place. It seems that the breath of all creatures has been blocked. Behind the corner, there are countless pairs of eyes emitting green light, moving the body towards the collapsed stone pillar. A comatose person rushed to. After leaving the depressing and dilapidated hall, it suddenly opened up, but the uneasy feeling in Yunwu's heart never disappeared from the beginning to the end. If that evil saying is true, it should be in the front. Long Qingxie looks at the huge volcano not far away. The broken eaves and walls around it are like toys in front of it, which can't be summarized several times. He shouldn't cheat us. For Kangxi, Yunwu has no doubt, because Kangxi is the previous life of Longqingxi, and there is no reason to cheat Longqingxi. Long Qingxie doesn't have any opinions. Although Yunwu's inexplicable trust in others makes him feel a little uncomfortable, it's also his past life. It seems strange to be jealous. At the moment, they didn't say anything. They went there together. With the guidance of Kangxi, they naturally saved a lot of effort to find. The white bones everywhere around the site clearly told them that many people had been flocking to this place, but they died in all kinds of accidents. Look at the color of the white bone. It's even older. Others, however, were recently seen. They even saw a lot of mummies whose skin and flesh had not been completely corroded, showing more or less white bones, hanging ill in the corner. Yunwu can't feel the hidden threats, but the dragon can see clearly. Around the white bones or mummies, there is something lying on the ground, and there is a strange light in his eyes, but it seems that he is afraid of something and doesn't dare to approach. What are they afraid of? Dragon Qingxia frowns and subconsciously looks at Jinbao in Yunwu's arms. Just as Jinbao looks back at him, his red eyes are full of confusion. How can it be? Long Qingxia shakes his head and laughs. He still thinks that it's the Kangxi who leaves something on them that makes them dare not approach. Cloud Dance didn't notice the strange of dragon's evil, just frowned and looked at the white bones around. I don't know if it's because of these bones. She feels numb with something staring at her scalp. The front is going to stay. You'll stay down later. I'll go up and have a look. The volcano is not far away, and the dragon suddenly stops to look at the Cloud Dance road. The cloud dances and frowns. Looking up, it seems that precipices and cliffs are very suitable to describe this dead volcano, but if she can't go up, there was a trace of loss in Yunwu's eyes. Even though he knew that Long Qingxia was just worried about her safety, he still couldn't help feeling uncomfortable. Long Qingxia sighs. At a glance, he knows what Yunwu thinks. At the moment, he rubs Yunwu's hair to comfort him. I don't know what else is on it. You'd better stay here safe. Is there nothing down there? Yunwu's subconscious retort makes Long Qingxia feel a little shocked. He suddenly remembers what he saw before. I still don't know why he didn't dare to get close to them. If Yunwu is allowed to stay here, what's the matter for a moment? Long Qingxia was in a dilemma. It's known danger to stay below, but unknown danger to go up together. Since it's not safe anywhere, it's better to stay with him. With this in mind, Dragon Qingxia hugs Yunwu's waist in his arms. Then go up together. If there is any danger later, remember to hide. Yunwu nodded, stretched out an arm around the waist of Long Qingxi to prevent himself from falling down. Since Jinbao came here, he has been surprisingly silent. This time, he was squeezed in the middle by Dragon Qingxia and Cloud Dance, and it was just a slight struggle. After 2 times, he didn't move. He didn't know what to think in his big red eyes. Dragon Qing Evil Lift Gas, hold steady. Cloud Dance after the foot force. His body was like an arrow away from the string, and there was a small hole on the hard rock where he used to work. For the first time in her life, Yunwu knew that for a person who had no accomplishments, the speed she was used to was difficult for her to breathe. In desperation, Yunwu simply tilted her head and buried her face in the chest of Long Qingxi. Smelling the unique fragrance from the tip of her nose, she felt much more comfortable. Cloud Dance's small action falls in the eyes of Dragon Qingxia. Inexplicable mood is joyful. After the corner of the lip hooks out a radian, the action is more and more rapid. Can suddenly flash a shadow. Long Qingxia's eyes were cold. He stepped on the claw and turned to the other side to stand on a flat rock. Yunwu suddenly feels that Long Qingxia pauses for a while, then turns around and stops. With a little doubt, she looks up and sees Long Qingxia's tight chin, looking at the place where he can see. I saw on the opposite wall, a strange shape monster was lying on it. 5 fingers grasped the rock under the body to prevent it from falling. What is this? Yunwu frowns. After being put on the ground by Long Qingxi, he consciously holds Jinbao back 2 steps and stands behind Long Qingxi, but he still stares at the place without blinking, trying to identify what the other party is. Hiss. It looks like a human body, but it's rickety and shriveled. There are some rags hanging on it. I don't know, it's something left over hundreds of years ago. The joints of the ribs and bones are clearly visible. Even the sound is like a monster. This is the only adjective Cloud Dance can think of. But the guy didn't seem to see the 2 people's disgust for him. The sunken eyes and a pair of eyes were hidden behind the messy hair. The only thing I can feel is that the guy is treating both of them or the body very interested. Long Qingxia was staring at him, and a long sword appeared in his hand. It was covered with black silk and attacked the monster with fierce killing intention. The monster hissed, and his limbs bounced back 2 times, although the action was strange. But it is smooth to avoid most of the sword, but was cut by the edge of the sword. Dry skin, outflow of some black-green viscous liquid, the air suddenly a stench. Long Qingxia frowned, and his disgust was suppressed. A dark light was gathered in his palm, which contained enough power to destroy the heaven and earth to attack the monster. The speed made the cloud dance unable to see clearly. It only saw a shadow, a monster's hiss, and then a disgusting stench. In a trance, Long Qingxie had already arrived in front of him. His eyebrows and eyes were soft, and his evil spirit was gone. He stretched out his hand to the cloud dance. "Come on, let's go up." Cloud Dance lung after a moment, just suddenly laugh. "This man is really proud. Put your hand in Long Qingxie's hand and put your body in your arms." In order to avoid the suffocation before, this time Long Qingxie has just started. Yunwu buries your face in Long Qingxie's arms and whispers in your ears. "Just want to solve the problem as soon as possible. Leave here." Dragon Qingxie and Cloud Dance didn't see, behind them, that just was fried into pieces of meat, corrosion of the monster, although the flesh and blood disappeared, but there is a spread of black and green mucus slowly gathered, squirming to form a body as before. A pair of red eyes staring away at the two people, full of greed, shriveled mouth issued a low hiss. "It's almost there." Long Qingxie looked at the nearby crater and said something, but somehow, he felt a little uneasy. This road seems to be a little too smooth, except for meeting a monster with poor combat effectiveness. I haven't met any obstruction. So what will happen later? Under the pressure of the strange heart, Long Qingxie speeds up his pace. His uneasiness makes him just want to leave this strange place as soon as possible. Finally, Long Qingxie jumped up and stood on the edge of the crater. He put down the cloud and looked at a bright spot in the center. Here it is. After Cloud Dance stood firm, she looked around and was surprised. The volcano is a little bigger than she imagined. Fortunately, it is already an extinct volcano. If they are not lucky enough to catch up with the eruption, they may not have enough lives. The map of the temple is close at hand. Cloud Dance looks at the black fog around it and frowns. It's foggy, but it doesn't float around. It's like it's imprisoned by something, and then it flows slowly in a fixed range. Yunwu doesn't dare to be careless. She inserts the silver needle hidden in her sleeve. The touch from her hand clearly tells Yunwu that there is something in front of her that they can't see, but it's very soft. The next second, the part of Yunwu's hand touched by the black fog suddenly melts like iron when it encounters high temperature. It turns into a pool of silver water and falls to the ground again, splashing some dust. Cloud Dance and Dragon pour evil facial expression a change. The thing of this place really can't look down upon. Long Qingxie brings another stone in. The stone has just entered that area. Before it falls to the ground, it stays in front of Yunwu and Long Qingxie and suddenly becomes a piece of dust. What the hell is this black fog? Yunwu looks at the dragon, but the dragon shakes his head. Unexpectedly, Yu Guang in the corner of his eye catches a glimpse of something, frowns and goes there. Cloud Dance to keep up, see again on the ground, there is a sunken grain, like a pattern. What a ray! Cloud Dance looks at the dragon to pour evil to ask away. Long Qingxie answered, frowned and crouched down. His palm brushed away the dust and gravel on it, revealing a more complete, more complex and mysterious pattern, which continued to extend all around. Seeing this, Long Qingxie simply gathered some strength in his hand and patted it on the ground. The fine and just good spirit force controlled him to shake away the dust and gravel one after another, revealing the original appearance of the ground. This is a very large range, and the complex and mysterious pattern connects two circular grooves, one side high and the other low, with those patterns in the middle. What kind of array is this? The array I learned in the college before seems to be totally different. It's very strange. Ouch. When Yunwu wondered what it was, Jin Bao, who had been silent in her arms, suddenly hummed twice and struggled to jump out of Yunwu's arms. Jin Bao? Jin Bao didn't seem to notice the sound of Yunwu. She walked towards the higher groove with her short legs, sat there and turned to look at Yunwu. Woo woo. What's the matter with you, Jin Bao? Yunwu doesn't understand. She goes to Jin Bao and squats down to look at it. She doesn't know what Jin Bao means. Ouch. Jin Bao uses his little paw to slide on the other front paw. Then he looks up at Yunwu. His red eyes reflect the appearance of Yunwoo. Yunwoo suddenly feels as if she knows what Jinbao wants to do. You mean, do you want this in your blood? Ouch! Seeing that Yunwoo understood his meaning, Jinbao nodded excitedly and continued to watch Yunwoo eagerly. Cloud Dance's frown. No, it takes too much blood. Over the past few days, she naturally knew that Jinbao was not an ordinary warcraft, and she naturally understood the value of its blood. If Jinbao's blood is necessary to open this, she would rather think of other ways. This little guy has no idea how much blood he has put. He has suddenly become very sleepy these 2 days, which must be the reason. Woo-woo. See Cloud Dance don't agree, Gold BMW pitifully looking at Cloud Dance. As if not to let him bleed, but became a matter of sorry for it in general. Long Qingxie went to Yunwoo, frowned and thought for a while, and said, since it asked for it on its own initiative, that should not have much impact. The time for Cloud Dance and site closure is coming. We should seize the time. But Cloud Dance frowns, for a moment or indecisive. Jinbao and others were impatient. They looked at their small claws and tried to scratch them with their nails. Unfortunately, they couldn't even scrape off a layer of scales. What's more, I cut my skin, but I had to continue to beg for the general look at the Cloud Dance. Yunwoo was a little soft-hearted, but when you think about it, it seems that this kind of thing is not so kind-hearted. One man and one beast just froze for a long time, but the earth under your feet suddenly trembled. What's the matter? Yunwoo almost fell off without asking, and the remaining half of the silver needle fell to the ground, making a crisp sound. Cloud Dance is held by Dragon Qingxie, frowning and looking around. I'm afraid this extinct volcano was stimulated by something and revived. Long Qingxie chuckled, but Yunwoo frowned and glanced at the area surrounded by the black fog, which was estimated in his heart. If the volcano suddenly erupted at this time, I'm afraid it would have to escape to the dilapidated hall for such a large area. This volcano, obviously, has not erupted for hundreds or even thousands of years. Otherwise, how can it form this kind of volcanic rock? Both of them didn't notice that Jinbao on the ground, with her bright red eyes, looked at the things on the ground stealthily, then stealthily fished the silver needle, which was only finger-long, with her claws, and put it in a posture with great effort. Looking back, Yunwoo and Long Qingxie are still concerned about the volcanic eruption. They bite their teeth heartily, and their tender skin cuts through the sharp tip of the needle. Jin Baotong shivered, immediately lost the silver needle, and put the bleeding wound on the top of the groove. The blood was like pouring water, and slowly walked on the pattern. Yunwoo suddenly smelled a smell of blood. As soon as he looked back, he found the appearance of Jinbao. After a moment, he was angry. Jinbao, what are you doing? Ouch! Yunwoo reaches out to hold Jinbao, but Jinbao suddenly seems to have no idea of Yunwoo. He swings his paw fiercely and tears the wound bigger. It seems that he doesn't feel any pain at all. Cloud Dance was angry, don't want to let Jinbao so, but found that this little guy bleeding more than anyone positive, don't know whether to stop or let it go. If it wants to, let it be. Long Qingxie grabs Yunwoo's hand. Although there is no lack of worry in his eyes, he is calmer than Yunwoo. But Yunwoo bit her lower lip and didn't know what to say for a moment, because now, the grain in front of Jinbao was almost filled up. If she bothered at this time, she might fall short. Cloud Dance also can only look at Jinbao gradually, some dispirited eyes dry anxious. The blood soon spread all over the whole grain, gathered in the lower groove, and slowly condensed into a blood-red blood pill. See blood Dan congealed, Jinbao took back his arm to lick, the wound disappeared, but the mental state is still not very good. Wani, the body did not have the luster of the past. Jinbao. Yunwoo quickly picked up Jinbao. Long Qingxie picked up the blood pill on the ground and looked at it for a while. When he looked back, he suddenly found that the black fog, which was originally shrouded and controlled by something, had already begun to float out, and was about to cover the Cloud Dance. The scene of the two things decomposed by the black fog appeared in my mind. Long Qingxie's pupils contracted for a while. Before he could shout out, he suddenly found that the things he imagined had not happened. Yunwoo didn't know when he was covered with a layer of golden light. But cloud dance is imperceptible, or a mind is put on the arms of Wani Jinbao. Long Qingxie was relieved. Looking at his palm, he found that there was something on him. His eyes fell on Jinbao. In his half-open red eyes, there was a flow of golden light. After knowing what was going on in his heart, Long Qingxie went forward and rubbed Jinbao's head. He looked at the red eyes and couldn't say clearly. Well, is the black fog gone? When Yunwoo looked up at the dragon, he found the black fog that had dissipated. He saw a little joy in his eyes and looked at a stone platform in the middle, on which was rolled up and tied. That's the temple map. I'll go and have a look first. Yunwoo puts Jinbao in the arms of Long Qingxie, takes out the dagger from his waist and walks cautiously. When he steps on some fine gravel, it will make a slight friction sound. In addition, everything is quiet. Until Yunwoo came close to the stone platform, nothing happened. He turned around and nodded to Long Qingxie. Long Qingxie came forward and stood with Yunwoo. This is the temple map. Yunwoo looks at the things in front of him and takes a deep breath. He always feels uneasy, but he can't tell why. Long Qingxie nodded and watched Yunwoo take it up. Nothing happened. He relaxed and turned around. Let's get going. Cloud Dance nodded, just wanted to turn away, suddenly found that a layer of halo appeared on the stone platform, engraved with 2 lines of small characters, but the back has been unable to see clearly. Refining muscles and bones, bathing in fire. That's Yunwoo hesitates. The dragon has already gone to the shore. When he comes back, he finds that Yunwoo is looking at something in a daze. When he wants to open his mouth, his pupils suddenly contract. Just in the blink of an eye, there were several cracks at Yunwoo's feet, and they were still spreading. From the cracks, we could feel the hot temperature and the bright red and yellow light. Come back, little thing. Yunwoo was just about to see what words were on the back of the stone platform when he suddenly heard the cry of Dragon Qingxie. As soon as he turned his head, Yunwoo saw the crack under his feet and the scorching heat wave. As soon as Yunwoo's face changed, he immediately raised his legs and wanted to run over. However, the speed of the fragile Earth's crust breaking is much faster than the speed of cloud dance. The crust behind is constantly breaking and falling. Following the pace of cloud dance, it's like a race against death. Dragon Qingxie's breath is gradually tight. He looks at Yunwoo getting closer and closer, and reaches out his hand to hold Yunwoo. The crust in front of Yunwoo collapses first, and the heat wave covers the surface. In desperation, Yunwoo can only strive to jump, only to see if the god of luck can care for her, so that she can jump to the dragon's side. At that moment, in the eyes of Long Qingxie and Yunwoo, it was just like slow motion. All the details were slowed down and expanded countless times, including a figure suddenly rushing out from behind Long Qingxie. The pupil of cloud dance constricts. Looking at that person who appears suddenly, it is Lien Sun, whose face has been corroded for the most part. No, this man is dead. Cloud Dance clearly see Lien Sun's face bloodstain and empty dilated pupil, and that slightly white lips, all prove that now Lien Sun is just a corpse, just the greed in that pair of eyes, but it is familiar. Subconsciously, Yunwoo thought of the monster she saw on the way. Is it the one in front of you? There is no time to think about it. When Long Qingxie has touched Yunwoo's fingertips, the figure also bumps into Yunwoo's body and makes a familiar hiss. Then, Long Qingxie just watched Cloud Dance break away from the scope he could grasp. But also see the cloud finally made the mouth go. The body suddenly falls, stays in the dragon to pour in the evil line of sight, falls in may melt all in the molten slurry, even a trace smoke has not floated out, so disappeared. Little thing. Long Qingxie's pupils dilated and the filaments in his eyes almost instantly congested at this moment. He couldn't believe that Yunwoo just fell in front of him. At this time, the earth at the foot of turbulence again. Long Qingxie did not keep his balance and let his body fall back. The last scene in front of my eyes is the thick smoke before the eruption, followed by a burst of darkness and the pain of tearing my heart. When Long Qingxie wakes up again, his eyes are no longer like the ruins. The blue sky and white clouds, the leaves fluttering with the wind, and the soft and fresh touch under the body make the dragon return to the spirit slowly. Sitting up, Long Qingxie subconsciously turns his head and looks at Jinbao, who is curled up to sleep, with tears in the corner of his eyes. Looking around, this location is not far from the site. Kimbo brought him out? But what about Cloud Dance? In front of his eyes, the scene of clouds dancing down the lava suddenly flashed. The bottom of Long Qingxie's heart was tightly pulled up, his eyes became more gloomy, his eyes were dark with scarlet color, and his breath was closely followed by some restlessness. But at this time, around suddenly came the voice of a few unlucky ghosts. "He's right in front. Kill him with me." The sound of footsteps approached, and the dragon didn't move at all, but the black air on his body became more and more thick. Maybe it's just that the leader was overjoyed that he had not been on guard against the evil dragon. He was so lucky that he was hurt by the evil dragon. At this time, it seems that Long Qingxie is really injured. There are bloodstains and scars everywhere. He is a bit ragged and has some bruises on his face. However, in fact, he is real now. Great. The black air burst out suddenly, forming sharp spikes. Before the weapons of those enthusiastic people touched the dragon's body, the body was suddenly pierced by the spikes formed by the black air. Cough. "Air you." The man's eyes widened and saw that his blood was being transported to Dragon Qingxie's body along with the black thing. His body twitched slightly, his head tilted, and there was no sound. Long Qingxie looked back at those people and saw that they were scarlet, as if they were killing gods. Take back the black gas on oneself, let those 3 or 4 shriveled corpses fall on the ground. Long Qingxie's expressionless face bent down to pick up the sleeping treasure and walked step by step in the opposite direction of the site. It's so hot, pain a burning, like exposure to fire in general, the face of the feeling more intense, but also like being hit, like bursts of tingling. It seemed that there was a strange energy in her body, which collided left and right. It was still stinging and burning. It seemed that she was willing to give up until she died. Cloud Dance wasted a lot of strength to open. In front of the bright let her can't help but squint, just see in front of what is flowing slowly. I saw that the burning orange light, also mixed with a lot of gravel. And the place she was in seemed to be separated by something. Her sight turned slightly, and a red figure was constantly huffing and puffing beside her. Fire unicorn? Cloud Dance is surprised to make a sound. Huaqilin looks back at her and starts to swallow the fire element repeatedly. And Yunwu looks at the scroll in her hand and can clearly feel the energy fluctuation from above weight. There is a surprise in Yunwu's eyes. After carefully feeling her body, she finds that the barrier from the branch has been swallowed up by the fire element, and her original power of the element is becoming more and more solid with the blessing of the fire element. This time, I really don't know if it's a blessing in disguise. Seeing that the white light was still trying to fight back, Yunwu temporarily put away a lot of thoughts and practiced in silence. The rich and pure fire elements slowly gather to her through the barrier, and the white light in her body has become weaker and weaker. It's just that during the period of Cloud Dance's meditation practice, the dragon is crazy. In a short period of half a month, the 3 divisions of the longevity gate around the site were destroyed, and countless disciples and elders were killed. Under the baptism of blood, the cultivation of Dragon Qingxie is also on the rise. In the twinkling of an eye, he is on the verge of breaking through. The killing breath on his body is not reduced, and his eyes are red and bleeding, which makes people scared. It's clear that the dragon is about to turn the devil. Jinbao has been taken with him all the time. Only when the surroundings are calm can Long Qingxie look at Jinbao, who has been sleeping, and his eyes will be warm. But as soon as he looked up, it turned into a killing that could destroy heaven and earth. What's the use of staying in the world without Cloud Dance? Whenever he thought of the moment when the cloud dancing figure was annihilated, Long Qingxie always had this idea, but he struggled to live, looking forward to one day, maybe he would suddenly see that strange little thing appear in front of him. Come on, tell the Lord that here comes the dragon. This is the 4th assignment. Long Qingxie estimates it in his heart, and then hugs the treasure in his arms. Several attacks from the sky all fell on Long Qingxie, but he remained motionless, and the black breath behind him soared, just like when he just woke up that day, turning into sharp thorns to harvest his life. No matter how many times he was cut or stabbed, Long Qingxie seemed to have no feeling at all. He just waved his sword with no expression and continued to reap life with the black air behind him. This kind of non-lethal play makes Long Qingxie become a madman directly. At night, Long Qingxie jumps down from the tree where he is resting and walks across the corpses all over the ground without expression. When I got to the door, I saw a group of people from the 5-Star Club and the Longevity Gate. Dragon, you have committed many evils and killed countless of our disciples. Today I will get rid of them for the people. Good looks. After Long Qingxie sneered in his heart, he raised his eyes and looked at the man without expression. His red eyes were a bit crazy and cold. Let's die together. Simple 5 words, but it is naked contempt. The leader's face was so white that he didn't know what to say. He roared and rushed up with his sword. The people behind him followed him closely. Long Qingxie, you are looking for death at all. When a sharp sword was set on Long Qingxie's shoulder, Long Qingxie heard such a sarcastic voice, but he suddenly grinned. Yeah, he's looking for death. The momentum on the body suddenly expanded a bit, and suddenly the soaring momentum shocked the people around. The dragon with wounds all over his body chuckles. It's really good to feel full of power in his body, especially when he's dying. He broke through. I don't know who suddenly yelled so, and there was panic around. This man is a monster. This situation can be broken through. Kill him while he's still unstable. The patriarch suddenly realized that now is the best chance to kill the dragon. At the moment, I don't care how embarrassed I am now. If I can't solve the problem thoroughly today, I will be in endless trouble. Long Qingxie, go to die. The wind blade comes straight at the forehead of Dragon Qingxie, but the Dragon Qingxie doesn't mean to escape. The wind blade is dark blue. It's the joint force of the 3 patriarchs. Everyone's breathing is nervous, waiting for the scene that the weak barrier of Dragon's evil spirit is crushed, and then the head is cut off. Before the body of the wind blade arrived, the strong wind had already crushed the outside of the dragon's evil barrier. In a second or two, everyone will want to see the scene. The dragon still looks straight ahead and does not move. How dare you all move my men? Have you discussed with me? A clear female voice, followed by a more solid barrier, suddenly stands in front of the dragon, offsetting with the wind blade. Looking at the woman suddenly appeared in front of him. Although his face was half-masked, his eyes suddenly turned red and his lips trembled. It's only after half a sound that you spit out 3 words, little thing. Well, I'm back. Under the mask, Yunwu smiles brightly. He pats the Jinling around him. After taking it back, he calls Lan Yu out and gives orders. These people are the ones you used to practice tonight. Lan Yu, stretch your muscles and bones. Leaving a smile of unknown meaning, Yunwu turns around and takes Long Qingxie by the hand. It seems that he is going into his backyard and turns a blind eye to the corpse on the ground. He finds a clean room to go in and sits down. Little thing you. Long Qingxie's blood was completely absorbed, leaving only the unhealed, more serious wounds and clothes torn. Looking at the appearance of Cloud Dance, I still can't react. Maybe it's because of the map of the temple that I didn't die, and with the essence of fire elements, I restored my accomplishments. When Huaqilin grew up, I continued to restore my accomplishments and made breakthroughs, but... The voice of Cloud Dance suddenly fell down, and his fingers stroked his silver mask. But after she came up, she suddenly found the tingling on her cheek and the uneven touch under her fingers. The face covered by this half-mask was almost completely destroyed. Dragon Qingxie looks at the action of Cloud Dance, vaguely understand. Sitting beside Yunwu, a pair of blood-red eyes lock Yunwu's eyes, slender fingers buckle on the edge of the mask, eyes with inquiry. Cloud Dance originally wanted to refuse, don't know what to think of, suddenly clenched 5 fingers, closed eyes. With a cold touch on his face, Yunwu's heart also missed a beat. To tell you the truth, he was worried about the strange eyes of men. However, in the Cloud Dance uneasy time, it is a pair of warm hands holding his cheek, with a smiling voice. That's fine. You don't have to worry about being robbed by others. For a moment, Yunwoo didn't recall the meaning of Long Qingxie's words. After a moment, he opened his eyes and looked at what Long Qingxie wanted to say, but he didn't know what he could say. The tenderness in Long Qingxie's eyes was not at all false, as if he was the most beautiful treasure in the world. Cloud Dance Lung for a moment, looking at the dragon Poor Evil. Two people suddenly look at each other and smile. The red halo outside soon ends, and Yunwoo follows Long Qingxie away, and Wensho Gate, a branch thousands of miles away. These two people are deceiving people too much. The old man with white hair slapped the table angrily, and the anger in his eyes was obvious. Although he seemed to be in his prime of life, the brilliance in his eyes could not be ignored. Sect leader, Yunwoo suddenly died and came back to life. It's strange. This man can't stay. Another young man's face is full of worry. The old man stares at the image in front of him for a long time. At last, he waves his sleeve and gives a cold hum. Give me an order at once. Immediately open the next 7 pursuit orders, Cloud Dance and Dragon Poor Evil, no one left. The so-called order of pursuing and killing is that each one is more powerful than the other. There are few people who have been sent to the next 7, and most of them die in the second way. He really didn't believe it. These two guys are so powerful. If these 7 orders can't help them, the Longevity Gate and the 5-Star Club should give up. Under the blue sky, the bloody smell of that night seems to have been covered up. Qingyong City, 2 white figures arrived, looking at no abnormal crowd, their eyes deep. I don't want us to go back. The cloud dances cold to hum. The corner of the mouth spreads the cool radiant. How many doglegs of Wuxinghui and one woman are involved in seemingly no different crowd? This time, they really want to root out. They're in the dark. What if we're in the light? Dragon Qingxie's mouth is full of smile, looking at Cloud Dance, picking eyebrows slightly. Cloud Dance glanced at Dragon Qing Evil one eye. The radiant of the corner of the mouth is fine on. Who knows her? Ben Qing. They disappeared at the gate of the city. When they left, Yunwoo deliberately brushed their sleeves. Several people who were constantly on the alert in the crowd seemed to feel a touch of abnormality. Their eyes suddenly became sharp. After a while, they found nothing. A few quarters of an hour later, Qing Yong was under the city. Who are you? A man in a white robe stopped 2 people in a hurry. My wife has an infectious disease and her skin is festering. She's going to find an antidote. Infectious diseases? A slightly suspicious voice rang out. At the same second, he pulled up the woman's veil and acted rudely. This pull caused a great stir. A perfect outline is a white to outrageous face, like a white doll's face, in addition to a pair of smart black eyes, and if the big black eye, that white face of horror. If you look carefully, you can see that the white powder is still flying in the wind. No one will doubt that she painted it to cover her face, because with the white powder, there are fish scale faces. What kind of infectious disease is this? The white-robed man looked at the skin on the woman's face in horror. He was so scared that he threw down his veil and stepped back. As soon as the man said this, the passers-by also stopped to watch the excitement. Whenever someone saw Yunwoo's face, the look of surprise on his face was no less than that of the man. With her present face, it's disgusting not to have plastic surgery, not to mention that she's dressed up. It's no exaggeration to say that it's just a matter of time. Anything that takes up my skin can infect me. This little brother wants to try and feel it. Cloud Dance mouth smile a yang, I do not know whether intentionally or unintentionally, pulled the face of the skin. Voila, a few pieces of dry coke crack skin, like fish scales generally fell down. Breeze is not big, just can clearly see the residual skin flying in front of you. I seem to have seen this infectious disease. This isn't that 100 flowers? It seems that it is Baihua. A few decades ago, the woman was infected with Baihua and her skin festered, and finally disappeared. For a time, there were more and more onlookers, and fewer people were close to them, including the 5-Star Club dogleg. The cloud dances to hang the Mao dark to glance, looking at more and more distant crowd. The radian of the corner of the mouth is bigger and bigger. Brother, you can feel it. Cloud Dance said and walked toward the man 2 steps. The man followed back 2 steps. At the moment, the man's face has been pale, onlookers' words, in his heart aroused thousands of waves. I'm sorry, my wife is not in good spirits. Dragon Ching Evil a circle Cloud Dance of thin waist, no longer look at any one eye, volley drag away. You are not in good spirits. Cloud Dance nest in Dragon Ching Evil arms, sullen as sink, free a hand twisted to his strong waist. People's sympathetic eyes watched the 2 leave, including the 5-star club and the Beast Gate who were searching their whereabouts. A group of long-eyed and panting. Sound if Chin Yu, don't know where to come out such a sentence. All of them looked at each other and doubted each other. In the quiet street, the walls on both sides are covered with moss, and the vines are twining above. It looks like something ancient. Find a place to live first. Cloud Dance raised eyes to see a dragon to incline evil way. Long Qingxia Chumua smile, and for husband thought of together, just for husband know a place, no one disturb our rest. The Cloud Dance's white his one eye, the eyes are a little cold. Through the long and narrow street, the Cloud Dance can feel the taste of the array. My mind can't help but condense. Is there any array here? The next second, Long Qingxie gave her a mysterious smile, took her hand and walked directly into a wall. Not only the array but also the border. Wall boundary. In the moment of passing through the wall, the Cloud suddenly felt a powerful hurricane suddenly hit. The 2 people circled inside. In a moment, I was dazzled. I couldn't see anything clearly. I could only vaguely feel the powerful whirlpool of the hurricane. A moment later, the hurricane stopped. Looking at the scene in front of her eyes were shocked. In front of you is a mansion in the lake, with lotus leaves and flowers blooming. The mansion is located in the middle of the lake. Across the border, it was such a strange sight. Cloud Dance suspiciously looks to the dragon to pour evil, double eyebrow Tiny Siu. How do you know this place? This is not the human world. She doesn't think his power has extended to the upper world. Dragon Ching Evil mouth slightly deep meaning slightly a hook, looking at the distant mansion, eyes dark, a flash is gone, low eyes looking at the Cloud Dance Evil spirit way. Is not more love for husband? Cloud Dance's eyes passed a trace of displeasure, and every time he answered the questions he didn't want to answer in this way. I'll let you say it. Cloud Dance frowned and roared. She doesn't want to keep everything from him. Even if it turns out to be for her good, it won't work. The smile of Dragon Qingxia's mouth was slightly stiff, and the smile of his eyes was deeper. It was sent by a friend. What friend? Cloud Dance the Mao son of Sinhan looks at him. Upper bound still has his friend in? Long Qingxia looks at the distance, and his eyes are cut off by the unfathomable light. A friend you've never met is a friend to you? Long Qing Evil after a long time to take back the eyes, the evil spirit of Chaoyun Dance picks sword eyebrows. I'd like to meet your friend. The next second, the black flame broadsword suddenly attacked. The black figure leaped up in the air, the powerful power circled and scattered, and directly attacked the residence sealed by the spirit mask. At that moment, the smart power of the smart power cover vibrated, and the vast air was filled with red because of the change of color of the empty and agile figure. Bang! The huge spiritual impact, like notes, gradually spread wave after wave, impacting the trees around the lake. The water in the lake rippled, trembled for a few moments, and soon returned to calm. Yunwu falls in front of the residence door and looks at the residence with some depression. He thought it would be a powerful spiritual mask, but as soon as he gets close, he feels the weakness of the spiritual mask. Black flame broadsword was used to deal with it, and ox knife was used to kill chicken after opening the aura. This mansion is no different from a normal one. It's just a vague feeling that every brick and tile of the mansion is extremely transparent, white in red and crystal in white, like a layer of dense surrounding. After entering the residence, Yunwu had to sigh about the delicacy and wonder of the residence. All over the courtyard, the white lotus flowers rush into the tip of the nose, and the vines are all around. Whether it's the corridor or the room, it's all made of puyu, which is extremely dazzling and bright. Looking at the world, luxury, style. What a loser! The cloud dances, the fine on of the eye ground emerges, the corner of the mouth sweeps up a smile that seems to have nothing. Is this mansion worth a lot of money? Long Qingxia looks at the smile on the corner of her mouth, and a trace of helplessness passes through her eyes. This little thing, there's no one here. Cloud Dance slightly frown, the smile of the corner of the mouth is very cool. Just now, she explored it with her mental strength, and found that there was no abnormality, no trace of anyone living here, as if it was specially prepared for dragon's evil. And the psychic mask just serves as an isolation. Long Qingxia nodded, with a smile in his mouth, looked at Shang Yun Dance and said, "Is no one better?" Cloud Dance stares at him. Just wait for her to say what. The body suddenly center of gravity a topple. The whole person has been carried up by the dragon's slant evil horizontal. "Put me down." Cloud Dance roars sullenly. The voice of Long Qingxia's enchantment spread in her ear. "Little thing, you are really right and wrong." He glanced at her arm around his neck, with a slightly hoarse smile. Cloud Dance face brush a red, twinkling of an eye namely die. Afterwards Star Mao is glaring at Long Qing evil, anger rubs however, the strength on the arm has never relaxed a minute. Her tight circle is just for her own safety, but it has become the right and wrong in his mouth suddenly. The expressions on the two faces were all in a daze, and the anger and smile at the bottom of their eyes gradually darkened a lot. At that moment, they felt an unusual breath, a breath that didn't belong to them. "Put me down." Cloud Dance eyes a cold, eye-ground vigilance tasteful. The breath was calm and gentle, and she didn't feel any sense of killing or fluctuation, but it made her feel a bit strange and unusual, just like a chain reaction. The smile in the eyes of Dragon Qingxia faded a little, put down the Cloud Dance, and looked lazily but dangerously not far away. "Do you show up or do I show up for you?" Just 1 second after his voice fell, a thin and handsome figure appeared not far away. The man was wearing a blue robe, which covered his face. The strange red eyes under the robe could be seen. "Xiaomu?" The chill of Cloud Dance's eyes suddenly became stiff, and gradually faded into doubts and doubts. This man is really like a ghost, everywhere. "What are you doing here?" Cloud Dance looks at Xiaomu slowly coming, frowning slightly. His manner was elegant, with a natural purity and indifference, but it made people feel so ethereal, as if it didn't exist at all. Thorough corner of the mouth pull out a touch of radian, but feel so strange. "Come to see you, friend." Cloud Dance face a cold, cool voice like frost. "Follow me." I followed him. Xiaomu pointed to the dragon, and the light in his red eyes was more colorful, just like a pool of flowing blood. "I've been playing with you all the way, and it's time to pay for it." Dragon Qing evil mouth a yang, the smile in black eyes but bloodthirsty people cold. Suddenly, a crystal appeared in his hand, just like a modern chip. He looked at the thing wickedly for a moment, and the dragon threw it to Xiaomu. Cloud Dance eyes suddenly a cold. Originally he is to rely on that thing to track them? That's it. I should have killed you. Cloud Dance glances at Xiaomu with cold tone. But if a friend doesn't kill me, it means he won't kill me, right? Xiaomu pure smile more than a child like Jingren. But in the face of pure jade, it is still so strange. Cloud Dance slightly droops the eye sun, the meditation of the fundus of the eye flash but pass, cool way, before I have not changed an idea, disappear. His whole person is strange, the things he does are strange, the strange things he appears. Such a dangerous person who doesn't know anything about it makes her feel uncontrollable. She doesn't like things she can't control. For uncontrollable things, there are only two attitudes, either no intersection or full control. Inadvertently, she caught a glimpse of the evil smile of the dragon. Her eyes flashed and her mouth twitched. Except for him. "Friend, do you really want me to leave? Don't you want to know about the witches?" Xiaomu's stiff face pulled slightly and made a surprised expression. The Cloud Dances the eye ground to flit past a touch of surprised, cold glance. Xiao Wood, the vision has doubt and shock. He knows who she is. Isn't her identity known only by Beast Gate and 5 stars? Silence, speechless, dazzling. In their eyes, the airflow suddenly decreased, which seemed to condense their doubts and meditation in each other's eyes. In the quiet mansion, except for the shallow sound of lotus frolicking, it was completely enclosed in the atmosphere of 3 people. After a long time. What do you know? Yunwoo looks at Xiaomu and thinks a little. Since he knew what she might not know, it aroused her interest. Xiaomu's mouth suddenly raised, and he seemed to guess that Cloud Dance would be interested. You don't know what I know, many. Xiaomu's red eyes swept the splendor, and the scarlet blood under his eyes flowed more quickly. If a friend wants to know, it's okay, but if a friend wants to help me, I can tell him. Cloud Dance mouth corner sneer deepens. A verbal chip, do you think I can promise? Then deepen the chips. If a friend wants to enter the headquarters of the Beast Gate, he needs to collect 5 natural elements. Without those 5 elements, even the divine summoner can't enter. Do you want to know which 5 elements are there? The blue robe covered his red eyes. Yunwoo could not see his expression at the moment, but could clearly hear the temptation and smile in his voice. Cloud Dance micro frown, eyebrow sharp, he is gambling with her? Well, he won the bet. He just said that without the 5 elements, the divine summoner can't enter. The cloud dances, the lips are tight, and the eyes are cold. So, the place where she rescued Shangguan is not the headquarters of Wanwoman? Is Shangguan's father the leader of the Beast sect? She felt vaguely in her heart that it was still a long way to go to solve the truth of the witches and evil families, say the terms. The clouds danced coldly. There's a green town 100 miles south of Qingyong City. Go there and help me find a scar old man. Cloud Dance tiny pick eyebrow to glance at Xiao with one eye. Indifference voice in clip as silk to query, is this information? Not to mention that Qingcheng town is a town. Even if it is a village, it is too wide to find an old man's scar, isn't it? Does she know if it's black-bearded, white-bearded, hairy, or bald? Xiaomu gave her a nod. According to the time, he should be about 85 years old this year. Good luck, my friend. At the end of the speech, the blue figure has disappeared, leaving only a residual shadow in the air. Yunwoo looks at the shadow in the air and frowns slightly. Does he really know nothing about martial arts? What about the speed? You feel familiar, don't you? Cloud Dance lifted her eyes and looked at the dragon. There was a trace of complexity in her eyes. Long Qingxia Chumu a smile. The fundus is deep like pool water, really feel very familiar. You have feelings, don't you? Cloud Dance can't express any emotion in her eyes. She whispers, like asking the dragon for evil, or talking to herself. Long Qingxia put away his unfathomable eyes, and raised his smile at the corner of his mouth. He lifted Cloud Dance into the air again. Evil said with a smile, no matter what reaction he has, I still think it's better to have you. Shameless. In the quiet pavilion, 2 figures sit on the ground. The breeze stirred their clothes, which were folded and danced wantonly. No one could see that they were a perfect match for each other. What are the 5 elements? The cloud dances from the dragon to pour evil in the bosom to slightly lift the Mao Wei. Dragon Qingxia raised a smile, doting on her circle more tightly. Magnetic voice Lo Wei, this kind of thing, for husband how can know? Cloud Dance willow eyebrow a horizontal, the eye Mao some despise of glance at him, really don't know? She raised a sneer at the corner of her mouth. Just after he heard the 5 elements, the smile at the corner of her mouth became more mysterious. Although it was only a moment, it couldn't escape her eyes. Long Qingxia sighed helplessly and tapped Yunwoo's forehead. Little thing, I still like you a little bit stupid. Isn't it stupid of me to ask you a question now? Cloud Dance mouth slightly a hook, showing a touch of ordinary people in front of a lazy woman never look. Long Qingxia sighed, this little thing, what are the 5 elements? The cloud dances the star Mao to pick, the eye ground is full of curiosity. She hasn't come into contact with the Real Beast Gate, but she can imagine how strange and mysterious a place that even the divine summoner can't easily enter. I only know 3 of them: the crystal of Snow Mountain, the tears of Flame Mountain, and the light of ancient times. Dragon Ching evil sword eyebrow a low, drooping eyes looking at Cloud Dance evil spirit helpless smile. What does that mean? Yunwu frowned slightly, a little puzzled at the bottom of his eyes. He didn't quite understand the meaning of the 12 words. The most pure crystal of Snow Mountain, the hottest crystal of Yenshan, and a touch of ancient light left over from ancient times. It's very difficult to listen. This is the Cloud Dance's first emotion after listening to Long Qingxie. The size of the Snow Mountain is extremely cold. Can you imagine that it's easy to find a crystal as big as a fingernail? Can you imagine that it's easy to find a teardrop the size of a button? Not to mention a touch of light left over from ancient times thousands of years ago. Listen, it's a myth. And these are just 3 of them. I don't know what the other 2 are. What we need to do now is to find a scar old man in the vast crowd. The Cloud dances with a touch of sadness in her eyebrows. She stares at the blue sky and frowns slightly. The future is dark. After a 2-day rest in the residence, they left for Qingqing town on the 3rd day. On the way, they met Shangguan, who left in case of emergency and appeared as promised. After explaining the reasons to him, they decided to go to Qingqing town together. And Shangguan also told Yunwu all the information he knew. It's true that the one who imprisons me is not the family of beasts, and my father is only the deputy leader. Jinling galloped in the air, and the hurricane roared past. With the languid and indifferent voice of Shangguan, it came to the ears of Yunwu and Longqingxi. If not, it's not the family of beasts. Where is the real beast sect? Have you been there? Cloud Dance picks eyebrow to see to go up official, the eye-ground doubts flit by. Or in the eyes of outsiders, her question is funny. Shangguan is the son of the deputy leader of the 10,000 Beast sect. How can he not have been to the 10,000 Beast sect? But in the view of Cloud Dance, it's not impossible. Shangguan may not have been to such a mysterious place. Sure enough, Shangguan shrugged his shoulders and shook his head. His eyes passed a chill and said, I haven't been, but fortunately I haven't, otherwise I won't be able to get out anymore. Does the family of beasts come in as soon as they enter and come out as soon as they speak? Yunwu looked at Shangguan's natural and uninhibited eyes. At the moment, he was a little chilly, so he didn't continue to ask. Maybe the origin of the 10,000 Beast sect is a puzzle and unknown to her, but for Shangguan, it may be a topic she never wants to mention. One day, there will be no less people who should pay the price. Cloud Dance stares at the distance, the corners of the mouth are tight, and the cold and gorgeous face outlines a stubborn arc. This is her promise to Shangguan. Shangguan wanton corner of the mouth slightly a yang, smile continued to spread. Small 5, I have always believed that you can make trouble to the sky, also have always believed that you can be free to look down on everything in the world. Thank you. The Cloud dances, the eye ground waves for a moment, indifferent response. It's not modest, Qingqing town. It's a town known as the capital of imitation. If you come here to imitate ancient swords, there are all kinds of magic drugs. Only what you can't think of, there's nothing you can't find. At this time, just at noon, the whole town was full of people, even the peddlers stopped shouting. 3 people together to an inn, ready to eat first. Bang wow! The sound of heavy objects hitting the table and china breaking. As like as 2 peas, I can't see how necklace you are wearing on your neck. I look familiar with it. How can it be the same as the necklace that I lost yesterday? Half full, bang, a heavyweight knife across the table in front of the 3. The table is not big. There is a heavy knife across the table. Apart from the debris, the whole table can't hold anything else. Cloud Dance glanced at the messy table, the cold light at the bottom of his eyes flashed by, and gave a cold glance at the person who was looking for fault. See clearly, is it the same? Of course, I can see clearly. It's what I lost. Take it down for me. Otherwise, I won't blame you. The man with a small mouth is not tall and slightly fat. What people remember most is the mole on the tip of the nose, which is particularly eye-catching. Bullying new people again. It's time for such a person to learn a lesson. He's the son of the mayor of the town. He's rich and powerful, and he's surrounded by experts. Who dares to provoke him? The cloud dances to smell speech, the corner of the mouth passes a touch of bloodthirsty smile. The son of the mayor? I'll send it to your door. It's just for use. Put your hand out. If you can catch it, I'll give it to you. Cloud danced toward that man's slightly provocative, slightly pick eyebrows. Good death is to stimulate his young master vanity in general. If not, the man was deceived. Bring it. The man stretched out a fat hand and stagnated in the air. Because of the provocative look of Yunwoo, his tone became a little irritable and impatient. Cloud Dance glanced at the hand in front of him. The bloodthirsty radian of the corner of his mouth was raised. Under the veil, the perfect face was as cold as ice. Ah! A scream rang through the inn. Then there was a crisp sound of dislocated arms. Oh, young man, can you hold the necklace even if you look like this? Cloud Dance sneers at Jayunen, who is in agony. There is a trace of irony in his words. When all of you saw this scene, they all looked at each other, and their eyes were suddenly shocked. Her speed is too fast. As soon as I saw a residual shadow, the man's arm was dislocated. Who the hell is she? Since you have come to Qingcheng Town, don't you know the little overlord of Qingcheng Town? I dare to take off my arm. Jayunan's face was slightly pale, his whole body was shaking slightly, and the corners of his mouth had begun to turn purple. Cloud Dance takes back her sight with a cold hum, but her mental power is put on the two people who have been hiding in the crowd. The talent of blue rank is one in the early stage and one in the middle stage of Wuzuan. Is it all about protecting this punk kid? Yunwoo smiles and thinks. It seems that the mayor of Qingcheng Town should have some skills, but how can he teach such a bear-like son? Hiss if you don't kill her, come on. Hiss. Jia Yu south back a few steps, pointing to the clouds, hissing pain of loud roar. Suddenly, in the next second, two strong grass breaths suddenly came. Oh, this wine is terrible. The Shangguan looked at the wine in his glass and shook his head complaining. Without waiting for the Cloud Dance, a clear and strong smell diffused and scattered, hitting the rolling grass and trees in a parabola. The two collided, and they even reached each other in a strange way. Not only the crowd watching, but also the two men of Wuzuan level were slightly stunned. Strong full of wood elements attack. Was such a drink offset? Who is this man? What are you doing? Kill all three of them. Jayunen was so angry that he wanted to save face. Of course, he couldn't see the strange strike just now. In his anger, he also included the dragon Qingxie, who had been silent and just smiling. Long Qingxie's sword eyebrow lowered, and his black eyes looked at Jayunen with a smile. I'm just a table player, innocent. Cloud Dance forehead a black, tiny lift mao white he one eye. Innocent? Thank you for your 3 parts. After that, the two men looked at each other. In addition to the horror, there was a little hesitation in their eyes. The next second, the silver light of the long sword flashed in their hands, and their figures swept away. They came to the clouds like magic. For a moment, the atmosphere of the whole inn suddenly condensed and became serious, and the innkeeper just looked at the counter with a sigh. It seemed that he was used to it. Cloud Dance sneers, takes the tea in front of him, sips it, and pays no attention to the two people who are attacked by the hurricane. Just at the moment when the sword was waved, a sharp light swept by. The sword stopped at 1 meter above Yunwoo's head and could not move a point. Bang! The huge impact exploded in the inn. 2 figures with the shock wave, with a mess, instantly flew out of the inn. At the moment, all the people gathered in a safe corner. They all had martial art skills. It was no problem to avoid the aftereffects of the attack. Besides, Yunwoo controls the strength and won't hurt the innocent. Everyone looked as if nothing had happened, still sipping tea of Cloud Dance, fundus of surprise, instant search. She, who the hell is she? 2 people of Wuzuan level. Was it just like that? One side of the Shangguan, posture lazy, still fill the stomach. Eyes have been Piao. Cloud Dance battle. See, Cloud Dance didn't move, beat 2 people fly, mumble to say a few what, meaning probably is solved too fast, didn't see head. Long Qingxia then twists his fingers and flicks the dust on the white robe. He looks like he's calm and self-confident. His lips are full of evil. Chao Yun dances with a flattering eye. On the other hand, Jia Yunan, who had been hissing and howling in pain, saw this scene and was in a state of stupefaction. Looking at the two human shapes on the wall of the inn, his mouth was open in surprise. Yunwu glanced at Jia Yunan coldly, put the half-steamed bread left by Shangguan into his mouth, stood up and glanced at the leisurely two people. Let's go. Dragon tilts evil spirit to smile, tiny jaw head nods. Where to? Shangguan took a glance at Yunwu, and a trace of satisfaction passed by his eyes. Finally, he had enough to eat and drink. Delivery. Cloud dances cold to hum. The lip cape sneer raises, glanced at a superior officer one eye. The two guys outside give you. Why me? What does he do? The languid posture of Shangguan immediately subsided, and he stood up and pointed to the dragon and roared miserably. Cloud dance hears speech to slightly drop mouth to ponder, then indifferent way, which have bully own person. People fall to the ground, Shangguan mouth suddenly a draw. Small 5, calculate you ruthless. Long Qingxia looks at Shangguan who has disappeared outside the human body wall. The smile under his eyes is as warm as spring flowers in March. Little thing, my husband is more and more satisfied with you. Deliver the goods. Cloud dance a will Jeyu south to Long Qingxia. A turn disappeared in the indoor. Although across the veil, the flush on her cheeks still couldn't escape the dragon's evil eyes. The corners of the lips are full of evil, the charming smile captures all living beings, and the evil face is perfectly outlined in the rising sun, dazzling like a god. This little thing. He dropped his eyes and murmured. 10 miles away from Qingqing town, Jia's house. What did you say? The young master has been beaten? A very angry low roar rang out. Back to the master. What are you doing back then? Jachington Canthus a stare, fundus anger rub ran visible. Don't go to the young master back, the man to me back. Yes. Don't bother. The young master has sent it back to you. Cold as Qingquan's voice, a cool and handsome figure appeared in front of Jia Qingchun. When he saw the half-dead Jia Yunan in Yunwu's hand, the love in his eyes flashed into anger. Who the hell are you? Cloud dance lips quietly micro-hook, eyes is a pair of very puzzled looking at Jia Qingchun, stretch out white fingers pointing to Jia Yun. Don't you see that? Help me, benefactor. Dad, help me. Jia Qingchun smell speech, face red-green moment iron-green. The first to put the children, what is a good discussion? Jia Yunan is the only route he has ever been looking forward to. If there's something wrong with him, he'll be out of business. Knowing that Yun Dance hasn't moved, he'll fight the two men who protect him. How can he be more cautious? Cloud Dance's mouth is slightly raised, the deep radian is a little lazy, the eyes pass a cold light. Let go of your baby son. What can I use as a bargaining chip to negotiate with you? It's not so much trouble. I want to find an old man with a scar on his face. If I find him, your son will have a lot of hair. If I can't find him... Cloud Dance glanced at Jia Yunan, who was led by what elements. His eyes were bloodthirsty and cold, and he said, "Kill me." Jia Qingquan's mouth trembled at the sound of his speech. And the two people on the side of Yunwu's body, who heard her words, had clear, thin lips, and their eyes were all like watching a play. It seems that as long as they are not the enemy, and there are clouds dancing in the place, they can rest assured to make soy sauce. Dad, it's killing me. Please help me. Send out a notice for someone. In addition, 13 guards were sent to investigate in secret. Jia Qingchun iron black this old face. Canthus is trying to hide anger and killing. Then we'll leave first. Cloud Dance micro pursed lips once again raised, looking back at behind Jia Yu South, eyes cold. Young master, set out. Send 13 guards to investigate secretly? Is it to find out their whereabouts and details? The clouds dance and the eyes are cold. Well, people are old and have a bad memory. They need to be reminded repeatedly. Wait a minute, I've promised you to find someone, but But I won't let the baby go. Jia Qingchuan's canthus stare, and his killing intention looms. Cloud Dance lips cape outline, looking back coldly glanced at Jia Qingchun. I said you promised me to release people? When you find someone, your son is your son. You, how dare you play with me? Oh. Cloud Dance sneers, the corner of the mouth disdains to raise. Do you deserve to let me play? I advise you to find someone quickly. Dad, help. A sharp palm wind suddenly floated by, and Jia Yunan's slightly fat body slowly fell down. Annoying you. Jia Qingchun looks at Jia Yunan, who can't get up. He takes a step forward. His face turns red and looks angry. Cloud Dance light glanced at Jia Qingchun, quiet way. Don't worry, this is not without a sweat. Looking back at Shangguan again, he slightly raised his eyebrows towards Jiayu South and motioned him to carry him on his back. Xiao Wu, you are biased too blatantly. If you know it's bias, why hide it? The Shangguan couldn't answer her question. The fateful man carried Jia Yunan on his back. He didn't forget to kick him and muttered, "What's the point of eating less? What's the point of eating so much?" Jia Qingchun looks at his embarrassed son being ravaged among the three people. His heart is full of blood, and his eyes are full of killing intention. Find out their details. No one can live except the young master. Yes. I don't know where, there are several voices such as ghosts. Flying in the air on the back of Jinling, the eyes are cold, and the corners of the lips evoke a cold smile. Cloud Dance stooped to see a beautiful place, let Jinling down the sedan chair. I wanted to take a rest here and see the scenery as a tour, but I never thought that it was here that made her worship Qingqing Town. It's a good place with beautiful scenery. Yunwu is lying on the stone beach, stretching his hands and feet comfortably. Xiaowu, you are also a woman. Can you be more reserved? Shangguan looked at the cloud dancing in all directions. He couldn't help but start to think about it again. Then he looked at the dragon and said, you have a unique vision. Long Qingxia walked to Yunwu like a leisurely court. He lay down beside her and looked at Yunwu with his arm in his arms. He said, little thing, I found out only when I met you that I like this type. Then close to her ear whisper, no touch of small steamed bread flat body. Go to hell. Cloud Dance angry a roar, push away the dragon of the top to pour evil. But I still couldn't help glancing at my chest. I had no choice but to pass by my eyes. It was really so small. It's true that the body only has the sense of bone, but it doesn't have the sense of hand. It's not easy to be so clear. I don't need to see it. Even if I don't grow up, I like it. The thin lips of the dragon's evil spirit spread with laughter. This little thing is so cute sometimes. Shangguan looked at the interaction between the two, with a smile on the corner of his mouth, hiding a bitter and meaningless smile. Suddenly, a strange phantom passed by. Do you feel comfortable watching other people flirt with each other? A touch of breath passed by Shangguan's ear. The next second he retreated and opened the distance between them. However, the surprise in his eyes could not be hidden. When he can't see it, he comes to him in an instant. How deep is this man's strength? At this time, the Cloud Dance and Dragon Qingxia also stood up and recovered their usual look. Who are you? Shangguan tilted his eyebrows, and his bohemian smile slightly folded. He's not human. The cold voice of Cloud Dance swept over everyone's ears, the corners of the mouth and the fundus of the eyes. He has the smell of vegetation, but there is no smell of human. With a ghostly smile, the man put his eyes on Yunwu, as if looking at him. No one can see my body at a glance. You are really amazing. Cloud Dance lips a hook, a touch of mysterious evil smile looming. Looking at the person's eyes is more calculation. You appear here, is to do something? The man looked at Yunwu unkindly. I do not know why. The heart rose a sense of resistance and exclusion. It was like seeing a natural enemy. Give me that man. The man pointed to Jia Yunan, who was unconscious, and his eyes were cold. Cloud Dance can also know from his eyes that he certainly didn't come to save Jia Yunan, and then with an indifferent smile, people are there, want to take it by themselves. When the man heard the words, the smell of plants and trees suddenly turned around and came close to the south of Jeju. Hongling, stink, escort. Cloud Dance releases Hongling and Xiaoqiu in the contract space. Just when I saw Hongling and Xiaolukako, the Cloud Dance's Alang, the fundus of the eye suddenly flashed, with a touch of amazement. These two little guys' actually strength improved so much? The shape has changed too? See, small stink that chubby silly Meng, like human non-human appearance, more and more like a person. The sharp tusks seemed to have converged. They were all dressed in red feathers. They were close to the body. Their big round eyes were even more vigorous. They looked like lovely children about 3 years old. As for the change of Hongling, it's not only not sprouting, but also more ferocious. In particular, the thick branches merge with the little red snake that never appeared. What's going on? Little red snake and Hongling merge into one? On a red flower, there is a red snake, which is the same as the complex of plants and animals. It's weird and ferocious, and it's dangerous. However, it's obvious that they are one. Before that, they just haven't matured. Now, this is the real Hongling. Yunwu is not surprised. It's absolutely fake, but this kind of evolution is really a little strange. Are you the summoner? After seeing the little stink, the man made a loud voice. In an instant, birds all around the jungle suddenly rose, like the roar of an earthquake, wave after wave, and it took a long time to stop. Cloud Dance cold hums mysterious smile. Star Mao does not mean to look at that person, how? This guy is a wood element spirit beast in the form of a human. It happens that her wood space is still empty. She looks at the man with 4 words on her face. Welcome to stay, I won't do it. The man screamed repeatedly, retreated in horror, and disappeared for a moment. But in the next second, suddenly stop, looking at the body in front of the small stink and red Lingcanthus stare. Go away. Tell me to go away? How many heads have you got? Ma Smelly. Smelly heard the man's words and jumped to express dissatisfaction with the rain and fog. Cloud Dance micro frown, eye ground flits past to put on helpless look. Shengguan and Long Qingxie are at a loss. Maybe only Yunwu can understand the meaning of Xiaoqiu. I know it's smelly, but don't you solve it quickly? As soon as the star eyes in the field are cold, the color of majesty suddenly soars. Hongling Xiaoqiu shivered all over when he was threatened, but the man also twitched. Shit, when can I? Is this the majesty of the summoner? It feels terrible the next second. Hongling's small stink will go up together. Cloud Dance looks at the 3 guys intertwined together, drooping eyes and meditating for a moment, and then releases Lan Yu and Bai Shui. I'm going to work for a master, so I have to face each other. All of a sudden, the 4 elements of wind, wood, water, and fire were lifted up, and the whole forest was filled with a sense of oppression that had not been seen for a long time. Suddenly, the man's body shrinks and turns into a strange vine. The vine is surrounded by thorns. If he is not careful, it will be full of holes. The vine is like a snake, quick in movement and avant-garde in thought. The cloud dances the vermilion to stir up, a touch of elusive smile lifts. The man with a pair of 4 plus Hongling's small stink strength evolution, fight down naturally is not their opponent. Bang. A loud noise scattered on the ground, with rolling dust, hazy let everyone's line of sight. After the riot, there was silence like death. The rolling dust scattered in the air, and the sight was clear. I saw the vines on the ground constantly twisted, confused and struggling. Tut tut. Cloud dances to curl a mouth to shake head, a face pitifully looking at the vine. This can't get up? If I don't get up again, I'll force a contract. As soon as vines listen to it, time seems to be still for a moment, and the twisted body suddenly stretches, followed by the more crazy twist, like struggle, like resistance. The dust on the ground was struggling out of a hole by him. He is still in place. Why are you so unreasonable? Finally, Vine gave up the struggle, lying on the ground, weak refutation. Around him were the 4 covetous guys, especially the blood pouring from Hongling. Yunwu is ashamed and frowning. The other party is the body of wood elements. After evolution, has this guy started to eat vegetarians, then he put his eyes on the vine, and the corners of his lips were cold and gorgeous. It's unreasonable. What do you want? Well, unreasonable women are the worst. Vine cold hum a, disdain way. I'm used to it. Do you have a problem? Suddenly, Long Qingxie, who had never spoken, suddenly opened his mouth. He had a silver dagger in his hand, which was full of cold light. Your woman is not so good. Vine a listen to, will despise a vision turned to Dragon Qing evil body. Go on, I'm listening. Dragon Qing evil corner of the mouth evil spirit yang. Enchantment of the golden eyes is smiling at the vine. Feng Han's dagger refracts through the sunlight, and the dazzling clear on shoots at vine. Vine's twisted body is stiff again, and the words in her mouth swallow it back. Although the light was just a reflection, the vine felt an extremely cold and piercing cold. Well, why don't you go on? Dragon Qing evil sword eyebrows slightly pick, the corner of the lip evokes a wanton evil smile. Vine instantly collapsed in the dust, powerless twist a few body. The knife in your hand is shining. Who dares to speak because of the dialogue and atmosphere between one person and one tree? The air around became a little strange. It was depressed and gloomy. For a moment, the light of the silver dagger seemed to be dim. I won't play with you today. In the next second, the vine quickly got into the soil. The soil twisted a few times, and then there was no abnormality. Yunwu's eyes were cold, and he drew up a dragon. He launched a fierce attack, and directly lifted the soil that had disappeared from the vine more than half a meter high. In a moment, the dust was creeping, the gravel was rolling, and the roar continued. It's a pity that there's still the shadow of that guy, Vine Cloud Dance Eyes Micro Mi, looking at the disappearance of the vine, the corner of the mouth cold bloodthirsty raised. And this is a cunning and weird guy. Run, even if you run to the ends of the earth, you can't escape the fate I arranged for you. Mama. Small Stink looked at the vine disappeared, some looked at the cloud, Soft called it, seems to be testing. Cloud Dance glanced at him one eye, Mao Guangyamai in different way, should roll back. Little Smelly saw that Yunwu was not angry, so he ran to Yunwu happily, Mama. At the moment when Xiao Smelly is about to touch Yunwu, Yunwu immediately takes him back into the contract space, and then there are the other three guys. Because people run away, Hongling seems a little depressed, as if something should not happen in his control, and Lan Yu's eyes are colder, and Bai Shuer's eyes are also colder. Cloud Dance's face is dim. Do these guys regard that guy as their enemy? That's not good. We have to work together peacefully in the future. Just when Yunwu plans to take back the three of them, a ragged old man quietly walks in front of them. The old man's pace is steady, his breath is even, he has a white hair appearance, but he doesn't have the slightest morbid and weak state. Cloud Dance tiny Siu eyebrow, the eye ground flits over a doubt, so under there several people's gaze left? Did he do it on purpose or on purpose? This person is definitely not simple. What do you do, old man? Although they are curious about the origin and identity of the old man, Yunwu and Longqingxi belong to the thinking, while Shangguan belongs to the mentality of no brain, no brain. Although he is extremely intelligent, he is cynical and doesn't understand anything. This kind of person is often more terrible. Hearing the words, the old man stopped. His rickety back was stiff and he turned around slowly. Yunwu's eyes sank and his thoughts flashed by. Looking at his rickety back, he was really like a weak old man. But what about the facts? That pair of dark brown eyes, which had gone through the vicissitudes of life, were extremely powerful and full of spirit, without any vague and confused state at all. I'm just a copycat shop owner. How can I help you? The old man raised his eyes and glanced at Shangguan, but his eyes were on Yunwu in the next second. Imitation shop? Cloud Dance eyes a mi, meditation for a moment. Qingqing town is the imitation of the city, finally came once, not see the knowledge really some disappointed. It's easy to go. Let's see the power of Qingqing town. Yunwoo glanced at the old man with a cold smile. Long Qingxia smiles when he hears the words, and a trace of helplessness passes through his eyes. This little thing is really unreasonable, however. His women have unreasonable capital everywhere. Haha, it's not hard. The old man asked, open-mouth laugh. Momentum and the ricketts figure completely does not match. The next second, a scene suddenly appeared, which made Yunwoo three people stay for a second at the same time. The stillness of death, the silence after a long time, only a few low steady deep breathing sound, constantly reverberating in the air. How did someone look as like as two peas? Dead space. Hongling opened the voice of roar instantly boiling space. Yes, as like as two peas in the same appearance as the red rhombus, they are just an imitation of the old man. This imitation ability is too bad, isn't it? Don't imitate each other's martial arts and thoughts. Cloud Dance is startled. If we can imitate these, isn't it a bit too terrible? The old man asked Yen with a smile. The Cloud Dance of smile made him feel numb at the bottom of his heart. Then he said, "This, of course not." Yunwoo's face suddenly changed, and his eyes were covered with frost. Isn't that as like as two peas? Boring. You can go. The Cloud dances to fold up the corner of the mouth, pure cold way. Ha, little girl, this imitation is as rare as a summoner. There are many interesting places for it. No interest. The Cloud dances and the corners of the mouth are cold. People who see it for the first time are surprised by it. You are a special exception. The old man suddenly laughs mysteriously. Touching the old man's eyes, Yunwoo frowned slightly and was about to leave. At this time, Jiyunen moved low, as if he had woken up. Several people's eyes floated to Jeyu South at the same time, including the old man. Jiyunen stood up struggling, saw the indifferent Cloud dance at a glance, pointed to her and said, "You." "I." Cloud dance sneers, then looks at the finger pointing at her head in mid-air. "I don't like people pointing at me, which makes me mistake it for provocation." Jia Yunan's face changed in a moment, and he quickly took back his fingers. The remaining light from the corner of his eyes caught a glimpse of the old man not far away. The look in his eyes was suddenly happy. "Old man, help me." Cloud Dance's face is dark. Do they know each other? Or does the old man appear in front of them on purpose just for him? The corners of his lips are slightly outlined, and the cold radiance appears. It seems that the Jia family has some ability. Otherwise, how could everyone have the idea of this son? "Little girl, I'll take it away." As soon as the old man turned his hand, Jia Yunan had been brought to him. "Of course you can take it. It's up to you." Just when the old man brought Jia Yunan back to him, she acted fiercely. She could hardly see what happened at that moment. Not only she, but also Shangguan and Long Qingxie were stunned. "Old man, help me kill some of them. I'll ask my father to give you the secret of controlling power." Jia Yunan glared at Yunwoo with indignant eyes, hoping to tear her to pieces. Cloud Dance's secret of controlling power? Isn't that a very useful secret book? There was a bloodthirsty radiance in the corner of her mouth. Looking back, he glanced at Shangguan and Long Qingxie with a smile. That smile was like a blooming ice-colored flower, for which the sun was pale. Shangguan and Long Qingxie look at Yunwoo's Jingmong and shake their heads one after another. How can they not understand her? "I wonder if I can take him away?" The old man looked at the Cloud Dance and continued to ask. Yunwoo frowned slightly, and a chill passed by her eyes. "If you take Jia Yunan away and run directly, why don't you ask her so seriously? Is this a naked provocation?" Cloud's slightly pursed lips low, a pair of purple pupil eyes gradually red, around the spread of bloodthirsty cold. "I'm very interested in his father's secret book of controlling power. Do you think you can take him away?" Long Qingxie moves his eyes on Yunwoo to the old man. The corner of Evil Spirit's mouth is slightly heavy. He walks forward a few steps, just in front of Yunwoo. Yunwoo looked at the determined body in front of her eyes lowered, and her cold eyes became extremely complicated. Then she pulled off the robe of Dragon's Evil Spirit. "You are blocking my sunshine." Her strength is not small, But the Long Qing Xie when sea did not move, charming smile eyes dote on a look at the body in front of the cloud. This little thing is always trying to be brave, haha, it's a warm picture, but no one has to rush forward, one by one. I have plenty of time, we don't have so much time. Who will come with you one by one? 3 wipe cold proud voice drink together. In a moment 3 wipe phantoms swept out together, just like lightning. The old man looked at the illusion of the moment, the vicissitudes of life of the eyes of the moment a squint. Just that little girl, he felt some pressure. Now, with these 2 powerful people, it's not easy to deal with them. If you lose face, you'll lose your old life. With a strange hurricane left, 3 phantom has come to the old man's station. What a cunning old fox cloud dance cold eye son am I, looking at that wipe disappear of hurricane satirize way. As soon as they see that things are not good, they run away. It's really an educational lesson for their 3 younger generations. As soon as Jia Yunan saw the old man leave, his proud and disdainful eyes suddenly stagnated. Cloud Dance glanced at him one eye, Mao lights and cool, oneself walk or let him carry you to walk? Well, I won't let you 3 go. Jia Yu snorted, took out something from his sleeve and ran away. In an instant, the hurricane hit and rolled, and the gurgling water drew close to the south of Jiyu, wrapping him in it. The cool and clear stream was like a huge whirlpool space, flying away in the air. What is that? Yunwu looks at the silver pendant in Jia Yunan's hand, and his eyes are surprised. The pendant is like a drop of water, with the same color as the stream, silver light, as if gathering a huge spiritual power. That's a good thing. The clear voice faded out, and a purple figure had swept to the south of Jeju. Then a strong dark force cut a hole in the whirlpool space, just as the purple figure swept into the hole. Bang! With a huge rebound force, the purple figure was launched like a missile, and disappeared. Then Shangguan's figure swept out with the cloud dance. Long Qingxia looks at the place where the clouds are disappearing. His golden eyes pass by a trace of helpless worry. Then he looks at the residual shadow of Shangguan. His lips are slightly hooked and dyed with a smile. The evil spirit is dangerous. In an instant, the white figure has blocked the left Jia Yunan, and the Ape sweeps out, strongly attacking the stream space. Hit, bounce after a long time. There was a change in the woods in the distance. Are you here? Long Qingxia's golden eyes narrowed, the tight lips slightly raised, and the glistening sweat on his forehead ran across his face, dripping on the sexy thin lips, full of enchantment. As the abnormal sound increased, the bright and blue sky gradually darkened, and the birds and animals fled and the insects swarmed all over the forest, like a very dangerous omen. Suddenly, a confused figure appeared. The purple robe was in tatters, and most of the body was covered with mud. Occasionally, there was a breeze, and there was a bad smell. Her bloodthirsty eyes are dyed red, and her body is emitting hot temperature, but it makes people feel extremely cold. It is surrounded by strange and dark haze, which makes people shy away. She looked at Jia Yunan in the air, her eyes set off Jia Yunan's figure. Her anger was more obvious and burning, as if she was going to scorch the figure. Thinking of the radish planted in the mud, which was finally pulled out by Shangguan, her anger could not stop. Give the water back to the mud. A roar of burning flame resounded, the trees around were shaken and trembled, and the trees just subsided were churning again. After Yunwu left, Shangguan, who had been following her, appeared. Looking at the angry Yunwu, the corners of his mouth twitched violently. He couldn't help but feel excited. This woman is terrible. Long Qingxia saw the embarrassed appearance of cloud dancing and mud all over his body. When he touched her, it was enough to burn his anger. There was a smile on the corner of his mouth and he stepped back. In this case, she will hurt the innocent. Relying on the strength of the stream, Jia Yunan has been entangled by dragons' evil spirits for a long time and has not been able to leave. Now there is a cloud dance full of rage and fighting power, and it is beginning to be a little invincible. Wow! The sound of a broken stream space. There was a dull impact on the surface of the earth. After the dust dispersed, Jia Yunan was in a coma in the pit. The cloud dances to attack the body and descend, looking at the Jiayu south in the big pit, taking advantage of the situation to make up a foot. This just feels to relieve qi. The anger in the eye gradually drops. This has the destructive power of fat body, which can't be underestimated. Shangguan looked at the muddy footprints on Jia Yunan's body, and the corner of his mouth drew. This woman Long Qingxia looks at the cloud dance, and his golden eyes smile. His breath has basically returned to normal. He glances at the pendant on the ground intentionally or unintentionally, and his eyes are dark with a touch of danger. Yunwu picked up the silver pendant on the ground and looked at it carefully for a moment. After thinking for a moment, a sense of horror gradually rose in her eyes. This pendant has a special sense of water. Is it a natural thing? Cloud Dance cold glanced at Jiayu South one eye. Just this guy is to use it to draw water, collect for already used, and the power is amazing. Although the speed of the blow that just hit her was a little slow, it was full of strength. I thought the boundary of space could isolate and stop the power, but it was rebounded by the soft force of the current. Although I was not injured, I was still flying. Otherwise, she would not be in a mess. It's a good thing. It'll be of great use in the future. The dragon tilts evil to raise the corner of mouth to sink away. Just keep it. She said the heart is not willing to, words have not finished, but things have entered the space. Shangguan secretly shook his head, but looked in another direction. Am I wrong? Cloud danced along the direction of the officer to see a coagulate one eye, the corner of the mouth bloodthirsty yang. No mistake, it's him. You know it's him and you let him run? Shangguan's slightly pick eyebrows, eyes are puzzled, looking at the cloud, with her and dragon evil now strength. Stop that old man absolutely no matter, how can let him run? Cloud Dance mysteriously smiles and slightly picks Lu Mei at Shangguan. Do you believe he will turn to me? What did you do to him? Shangguan's face turned black and he looked at Yunwu with a mysterious smile. He felt very cold and could not help showing sympathy for the old man. To offend this woman, to live is to suffer. Cloud Dance chuckles and doesn't answer. It touches the stench on the body and slightly frowns. In a moment, it disappears in the same place. The superior officer doesn't follow. It was Long Qingxia who impressed Yunwu, but he didn't follow this shameless guy. His behavior has changed suddenly. Can you believe it? Just as Yunwu was about to undress and take a bath, the ripples of the stream suddenly increased, and a white phantom came. Little thing, I'll help you. Cloud Dance forehead black line rises, the facial expression schwa of dark come down, the wind element between the palm has already lifted. Sure enough, it's better to believe that pigs can climb trees than to believe that he will change. After Long Qingxia was sent away, Yunwu finally cleaned up the stench on his body. He raised his eyes slightly to see the clear air, and opened his lips slightly. Brother Shah, pack your bags and set out. A little gray in the air, the red clouds spread, the breeze blowing with a hint of coolness. Jia house. In the quiet corridor, a dark figure appeared. Master, I didn't find the identities of the three of them. It seems that they have appeared frequently in recent days. Cool voice, cold as winter water. Where has the young master been taken? Jia Qingxuan's voice was much sharper because of his surprise. 13 Wei didn't find their details, which really surprised him. You know, the 13 guards are the best assassins who are good at tracking and investigating. Although they can't know everything about the upper world clearly, they know something about everything. People he can't even investigate. Who are the three of them? How could it be so weird and mysterious? On the way home. On the way home? Jia Qingchun frowned. Some did not understand his words. The next second, his eyes suddenly widened and straightened. Looking at the more people in front of him, he was surprised and said, You. Hold in the mouth of the words, because surprised just did not say it. Mayor, don't you welcome us? We are kind enough to give you our sun. Cloud Dance micro pick eyebrows, seems to Jia Qingchuan's attitude some sad. In this case, nothing to say. A turn, she's ready to leave. Wait. Jia Qingchuan's face was in a hurry, and the roaring voice stopped Yunwu's steps. Cloud Dance stopped and looked back. So you welcome us? Jia Qingchun iron green a face, looking at some embarrassed Jia Yunan, that I bottom deep anger is full, but also can endure. Qingsheng Town says whether it's big or not, and whether it's small or not. The information about that person is so vague, how can it be found in only a few hours? Jia Qingchun thought that Yunwu came to exchange people, and he lowered his voice in anger. Cloud Dance turns around, the corner of the mouth raises radiant, indifferent smile way. I also consider this point no really not easy, so come to change a simple condition for you. This words, not only Jia Qingchun's face changed a few changes, has been no sense of existence of the 13 way, no expression of the face of the moment also had a change. The condition is that if you want to change it, you can change it? Cloud Dance seems to know what they are thinking, and the radiant of the corner of the mouth is deeper. Chips in hand, I have the conditions, change or not as high as she is not happy. Can't stand it? Then fight. As the saying goes, money is capricious, some people are more capricious. Are you playing with me? Jia Qingchun's face is a little twisted and angry. He doesn't call himself old man anymore. He calls himself me directly. Who didn't know Jia Qingchun's name in Qingsheng Town? Who didn't know there was such a mayor and such a bully? Although I can't bear to see it, I dare not speak in anger. The power of Jia family is the biggest in Qingsheng Town, and no one can find out the specific strength of Jia family. Jia Qingchun is also used to false flattery. Suddenly, a Cloud Dance who is not afraid of death openly provokes him and makes him unable to fight back. He can't swallow his old spirit. If it wasn't for the old sun, it wouldn't have been easy. I'm afraid Yunwu would have been hunted down for a long time. So what? Cloud Dance light sneer, words disdain. You. Jia Qingchun was so angry that he couldn't say a word, choked by Yunwu. Shangguan secretly sighed, uninhibited eyes are helpless. Then he threw Jia Yunan on the ground and stretched his muscles, as if preparing for the battle. Jia Yu Nanbang landing, seems to be able to clearly hear Jia Qingchun heartache burst sound. Jia Qingchun looks at Jia Yunan and is distressed. Then he looks at Yunwu and his anger rises. What's the condition? Say it. Looking at the fury of Jia Qingchun, I want to kill her immediately. Cloud Dance drooped her eyes and pondered for a moment. If you don't have Jia Yunan's chips in your hand the next second, if you want to go out, you'll have to wash Jia's house with blood. It's said that you have a secret book about controlling power. I'd like to borrow it. Jia Qingchun smells speech, facial expression instant gloomy go down. Who told you? Does anyone else know about it? Cloud Dance glances at Jia Qingchun. When he hears the secret script of manipulation, he looks so different. This secret script of manipulation power must be top grade, right? The corner of her lips is like a blooming snow lotus. Jia Qingchun thought for a while, the corner of his eyes twitched violently, and glanced at Jia Yunan intentionally or unintentionally. His anger gradually turned to extreme anger. There is no secret book in Jia's house. I'm afraid you made a mistake. When it comes to the end, in order to protect the secret script, Jia Qingchun has to die. It seems that his life is not worth as much as a broken book. Cloud Dance coldly a smile, lips cape light open indifference way, but if it's my words, I will choose to hand in, at least that two still can keep one. She's going to decide the secret script. If you don't give it, grab it. If you don't get it, steal it. The result is the same whether you give it or not. Why don't you keep one first? Release the child first, I will give you the secret script, but whether you can have it or not depends on your own ability to get out of Jia's house. Jia Qingchun thought about it for a while, and finally decided to take a step back. Yunwu has a little helplessness in her eyes. In fact, she doesn't want to solve the problem so violently. But it must be a long process to find and steal the secret script. She still has some important things to do, so she can't waste her time on these things. Since he is willing to give it, she should get the secret script first, and then talk about the others. Think for a moment. I promise. You release the baby first, and I'll give you the secret script. The next second, Jia Qingchun palms suddenly out of a book, cold eyes looking at Cloud Dance way. Cloud Dance Mao lights and cold, indifferent and dangerous glance at Jia Qingchun. What I don't like most is being calculated. I don't know if you can bear the consequences of calculating me? When she's stupid, right? Can he give her a secret script after releasing someone? People's minds are unpredictable, and the world is dangerous. People's words can only be heard as lies, and they can't be credulous. If you believe him, she is a complete fool. Suddenly, Yunwoo felt that there was something abnormal around her. Her eyes were cold, but a sneer came out of the corner of her mouth. They seemed to be surrounded. Lift a Mao to sweep, this just discover, just now that white dark figure don't know when already left. Cloud Dance tiny squint eyes, eye ground danger fleeting, under her eyelids sunwalk? Is he good at martial arts, or is she careless? Exchange it. I've been aiming for my husband for a long time. Long Qingxia's golden eyes flashed, and he looked at the Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance glanced at Dragon Qing evil one eye, the corner of the mouth slightly young. It seems that she was careless. The next second, a strong fighting attack, and the control of the secret book writing fighting moment to Cloud Dance. This blue hand is fierce and swift. It's the purpose to send books, but it's more exploratory. Cloud Dance takes over the control script. The fundus essence suddenly appears, quickly opens and reads several. One is to try the true and the false, and the other is to have fun. Just after watching for a while, the look of her eyes has changed dramatically. This secret book of controlling power is very useful for her now. Let's not mention the power of magic bite and Huaqilin in her body. She doesn't dare to touch the good things in her space. It's natural that she can improve her strength. But the process must be worse than death. If not, life will be in danger. Now that she has the secret script of controlling power, she can try those good things one by one according to the records in the secret script. Good thing, really good thing. Jia Qingchun saw that Yunwoo easily received the secret script, and a trace of surprise appeared in his eyes. Just then he used 7 parts of his strength. The woman didn't dodge at all. She didn't see her hand, so she took the hand. Who the hell is she? Thank you for your generosity. Your precious son will give it back to you. In an instant, the hurricane started, and the cold and proud voice was gone. Jia Qingchuan's anger was as fierce as a wild animal. If you can't take their heads back, leave your heads behind. In a flash, the shadows around them were moving, like ghosts chasing the direction they left. At this time, Yunwoo 3 people have arrived at the safe area, and they walk in the direction of Qingyong City. Xiao Wu, can we make less trouble? Shangguan's eyes drooped, and a helpless look swept by. Cloud Dance glanced at him and said, Am I in trouble? The haze rose on Shangguan's clear face. Is she in less trouble? No trouble, they can be chased and run? No trouble. What are they doing now? Can you get this secret script for one night? Shangguan wiped her one eye. To her completely don't feel more helpless. Cloud Dance hangs Mao a moment, then tiny jaw head, can get. Shangguan looked at the monster's sideways glance at the clouds, and for a long time he was discontented and said, Why can you give people the chance to chase you? If you can take it openly and above board, why do you have to be furtive? The Cloud danced coldly and arrogantly, glanced at the superior officer one eye, lips cape tiny sink. In fact, she wanted to say, Why don't you pretend to be Shangguan sighed to himself. He finally understood one thing completely. When he was with her, it was a thrill to be chased or to die. This woman is born to be a troublemaker. Then he looked at Long Qingxia, who had been smiling and drooping his eyes, and said in his voice, Do you think she's a troublemaker too? Dragon Qing evil smell speech. The corner of the mouth inspection can't be observed of pull a while. The helpless inside the gold Mao appears for a moment, instantly disappear. Do you think I'm in trouble too? Cloud Dance looked at Dragon Qing evil, lips slightly pursed, with a little woman's delicate, pathetic asked. At that moment, Shangguan looked at Yunwoo's little woman's posture. He was tongue-tied for a long time. He kept brainwashing himself. It's dazzling, of course not. I think they are asking for trouble. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly young, doting on her forehead under a kiss. Cloud dance smell speech, micro lift eyes to see Shangguan, face of delicate and pitiful moment completely without shadow, replaced by cold alienation. Shangguan, are you itching? Shangguan mouth adraw, eyes gloomy stare a Long Qing evil, this guy has no point bottom line? Long Qingxia didn't mind the murdering eyes. He was still calm and smiling. As long as his woman is happy, what's the bottom line? It's night, clear and cold, and the moonlight is hazy, covering the whole city of Qingyong. 3 white figures suddenly appear in the moonlight. The moment around the breath has become a little nervous. Should be coming soon? Cloud dance raised eyes to see a clear miscanthus of the waning moon. The corner of the lip in the moonlight hook out a touch of enchanting radiance. Where are you going? Long Qingxia's hoarse voice was slightly cool. Cloud dance micro frown, the bottom of the eyes swept a strange, appeared in his mind where to find Xiao Mu this idea. She subconsciously had the answer. This strange feeling puzzled her. For Xiao Mu, she always has a very strange and subtle feeling, unable to say whether she is an enemy or a friend. Go and wait there. Cloud dance glanced at the broken temple in front of her, which was the answer in her subconscious mind. She also wanted to see if the answer in her subconscious mind was right. Dragon Qing evil smell speech, evil eye sun glanced at a broken temple, smile lips clip a trace of dangerous smell. How interesting. They have the same feeling. The 3 came together to the broken temple, which was extremely desolate. Apart from a Buddha statue, there were reeds everywhere and the wind was blowing everywhere. The dust on the ragged veil could be seen. Occasionally, a dark wind swept by, and the dust got into the mouth, smelling of mud. Friend, are you here? Just as the 3 of them inspected the broken temple, a strange voice with a little joy began to ring. The man quietly appeared behind them. Cloud dance heard the sound of the same second. Like an electric shock, all over the hair are erect. Looking back, it was Xiao Mu. Barely hide the anger in the heart, indifferent way. I brought you, also should say I want to know? Xiao Mu gave a strange smile, and his red eyes reflected the shadow of Cloud dance, which was extremely gloomy and terrifying. Friends are great. Actually can let the calculation to that person, let him willingly all the way to track. Little girl, you are counting on me the next second. A hoarse and powerless but angry voice, extremely abrupt, roared in. Under the beautiful moon. The cloud dances the corner of lip to lift a perfect radian, lift mouth to see to break temple top. 3 days itch of effect how? You're the first user. Don't feel honored. Give me the antidote, I can't stand it for a second. The old man's voice trembled and instantly appeared beside Yunwu. Under the moonlight, we can clearly see the scratch marks on his neck, red marks, and some blood. The cloud dances, the corners of the mouth are slightly raised, but the bottom of the eye is the look of playful abuse. 3 days itch, as the name suggests, the middle person will itch all over for 3 days, and the last day is the most itchy, with the pain of thousands of mole ants. It can be said that it is the perfect combination of pain and itching, and finally died. She only got a little of it for one person. Now that it works so well, she thinks it's a little bad for him after tonight. The old man just itched for a day, so embarrassed, can imagine, the remaining 2 days will be how life is not like death. This is the antidote. You can't use your strength within 1 day after taking it. Otherwise, there is no medicine to cure and you will die of itching. Yunwu takes out a medicine bottle from the space and throws it to the old man. The old man doesn't look at it and swallows it quickly. At the moment when he looked up, the scar on the left side of his face was clearly revealed. Cloud Dance's eyes were dark, and he glanced at Xiao Mu. Fortunately, after pestering with the old man for a long time, I saw the scar under his hair. Otherwise, I would miss it for nothing. You are so ruthless. You are more ruthless than this poison. After swallowing the antidote for a moment, the old man felt as if he was better. He bent down and looked at the Cloud Dance resentfully. The radiant of Cloud Dance's mouth was bloodthirsty, and he said coldly, "If I'm not cruel, don't you pick up a big bargain for nothing? Since I'm ruthless, is this account settled together now?" Hearing this, the old man suddenly changed his face, and then burst into laughter. Little girl, you are not my opponent. You seem to have forgotten what I said. Cloud Dance slightly pick eyebrow, mouth corner a cold. The old man's smiling eyes froze for a moment. He couldn't use his strength in a day. Whether it was true or not, he had to listen. He didn't want to experience that kind of torture. Friend, now that you have found someone, come with me and I'll tell you everything you can know. Xiao Mu's eyes were strange and his voice seemed much colder than usual. In a word, looking back is not only the Cloud Dance, but also the old man with bent body. Looking at Xiao Mu, the old man was surprised. His white eyebrows were tightly wrinkled together. He has been worrying with Yunwu, and he just noticed Xiao Mu's existence. How can he be here? And Xiao Mu also looked at the old man, Puyu's mouth slightly wriggled, smiling, long time no see, old friend. You're not a ghost, what can I do for you? I'll talk about my old friend later. Let's go, friend. Xiao Mu looks at Xiang Yun and dances. Cloud Dance eyes a collect, then lift eyes to see to Dragon poor evil. Help me to look after this old man, come back to him to settle accounts later. Dragon Qing evil mouth slightly yang, magnetic voice from the throat low and out. For husband only help you see for a while. Cloud Dance micro frown nod, followed by Xiao Mu out of the broken temple. She knew that she had to come back as soon as possible. If she didn't show up after a while, this guy couldn't do anything. Night, this moment seems to be a lot of dark clouds cover up the brightness of the waning moon, dark as ink under the night, can only vaguely hear the sound of two people breathing. Go ahead. The clear voice cut through the dark night. My friend, the main culprit of the destruction of the witch clan is the Beast Gate, and the person you should deal with can only be it, so it's also your only way to find the 5 elements. The cloud dances to smell speech star Mao 1 mi. The figure completely conceals in the night. Knowing that she was a witch saint, the Beast Gate would not let her go. She thought that the destruction of the witch clan was the ghost of the Beast Gate, but this idea was overthrown in the human world. Although the Beast Gate in the human world is the best in the human world and has the help of the dark department of the sorcery, it is not so easy to destroy the whole sorcery. The original idea is right, just wrong. Ink Knight ice this piece. Where will 5 stars be? Cloud Dance has never understood what the ubiquitous 5-star club is, or is it an organization? Is it the same school as the Beast Sect? But she always faintly felt that 5 stars would be no less powerful than 10,000 beasts. Where is the light of the upper world? If there is the darkest place in the upper world, it is the purest place. After that, those quiet red eyes suddenly surge. The fundus of the eyes seems to have a stream of blood constantly disappearing, rebirth, extremely strange and gloomy. Yunwu was surprised. He half dropped his eyes and glanced at Xiao Mu's strange red eyes. He seemed to have a strong dislike for the 5-star club. Is his goal the 5-star club? Then why has she been guiding her into the gate of beasts? Will the 5 stars be the brightest place? Think about what the 5 stars will do. Is it bright and pure? Things seem to be getting more and more interesting. My friend, the Beast Gate has been looking for you. As for the reason, I think my friend knows that it's interesting to have such a loyal dog with you all day long. Xiao Mu's red eyes were strange, with a smile of blood. Cloud Dance laughs, lip gently pull. Maybe I only know one, I don't know the other. Can you tell me what the other is? In addition to being a witch saint, the most important reason is the temple map on her. Temple map, who doesn't want to get it? But just these 2 reasons are so crazy to her, always feel that some too much attention. To put it simply, she is just a woman. I don't know why, she always felt that the Beast Gate was afraid of something, but what was she afraid of? Are you afraid of her? Oh, she didn't even believe the answer. Friend, you already know what you should know. If you don't want to be hunted down all your life, and if you don't want to lose your family, love and friends somehow one day, you can only destroy the Beast Gate. Xiao Mu's strange smile seems to have known the answer of Cloud Dance. Cloud Dance looks at Xiao Mu, the star eye is slightly cold, and a sharp edge passes between the eyebrows. Listen to him, it seems that killing the Beast Gate is really what she should do. Even if it's not for the witch clan, she should also think about her future life. If one day she's 78 and another wave of 10,000 beast grandchildren come to kill her, can she still escape? Well, it seems that the information I get is of little value. The cloud dances coldly. She always does things according to her own mind. Moreover, it's still too early to deal with the beast gate with her current strength. Friend, I'll help you. Xiao Mu understood her situation and was extremely positive. I wish I would never see you again. The distant cold voice scattered in the night, the lonely and cold figure appeared in the broken temple. Xiao Mu opened his mouth with a smile, and his red eyes showed a strange brilliance. It's predestined, friend. You can't escape. Yunwu returns to the broken temple and looks at Shangwenlong. The three turn to leave the broken temple and pass by Xiang. Cloud Dance completely ignores him to leave. Long Qingxia slightly deep meaning of coagulate Xiao with one eye, leave the broken temple of a moment, lips lift a touch of dangerous bloodthirsty smile. What? I'm always on my own. No one wants me to help you. The three people flying in the air heard the roar of the old man clearly even though the hurricane was blowing in their ears. Is Xiao Mu looking for him to help? The cloud dances, the eye color one dark, ponders. Xiao Mu, who are you? The hurricane is cool, blowing clouds and dancing 3,000 green silk, and the purple clothes pull out strong and perfect radiance in the wind, adding a touch of color to the clear night. Three people lie on Jinling's back together, breathing the natural flavor. Yunwu closed her eyes and breathed a sigh of relief. It's good not to live in an inn. It's better to control on Jinling's back and sleep in nature for a night. Fortunately, Jinling didn't know about this idea, otherwise he would destroy himself immediately. Even if you fall all over the floor looking for teeth, it's better than flying all night every day the next day. Yunwu three people changed their appearance and came to an inn. They planned to stay first and inquire about the current situation. No matter it is the Beast Gate, the 5-Star Club or Jia Qingchun, they must be looking for the three of them crazily at this time. You stay at the inn and get some information. I'll go out and have a look. Yunwu sat on the table and looked at the sparse people in the inn. He felt that he would not get any useful information if he waited any longer. I'll go with you. Long Qingxia put down the elegant teacup way. Cloud Dance immediately shook his head. No, I'll go to have a look and come back in an hour. She has intuition. If she takes this guy with her, it will be a two-person world. If she takes this guy, she must be alert. It only takes 7 points of energy to deal with others, or don't let yourself live so tired. Long Qingxia looked at her tangled eyebrows, slightly crooked mouth, and then slightly jaw head. With the heart and love for her husband, go early and return early. Oh! Shangguan was stunned, half-bent and wretched. Cloud Dance coldly glanced at the Shangguan one eye, the eye ground flitted a trace of cold helplessness, then looked at the dragon to pour evil. Can you discuss a little more? It's cold today. I'll give my heart to you for my husband. If you take it with you, it must be warm. Suddenly, in front of me, a remnant passed by, where there was Cloud Dancing figure. With a smile of dragon's evil spirit, the ugly mask of human skin can't stop the monstrous face, just like a carved face. Little thing, I haven't finished yet. He shook his head helplessly as if whispering to himself. Boss, a bucket. Yi's Yunwu naturally walks in the crowd, and no one looks at her more, because she looks too ordinary and has no sense of existence. Gradually, she found out that in the city of Qingyong, only the Thundergate was the one who secretly searched for their information. Yunwu gathers her eyes. Liao Zongtian has been sending people to investigate her whereabouts secretly. It's obvious that he doesn't feel sorry for the more than 10 pills she stole. He must have been influenced by Wan's human, including Jinyu's exposing Yinbang and abducting her. Indirectly, it's because of Wan's human. While no one is following us now, let's go. It must not be discovered. Spirit around the tour of the Cloud Dance, very clear to hear the two words. What's so mysterious? Cloud Dance looks down at the two furtive people secretly, thinking that they can't get involved anymore, but their limbs are not controlled by their brains. Finally, She followed them to a jungle. Before entering the jungle, she went through 3 fences and a jungle formation. The jungle was formed naturally. How could anyone protect it with fences and formations? The cloud dances, the fine on of the eye ground passes by. Is there really something good in it? Oh! Suddenly, a beast roared through the sky and started to howl, intending to dance in the clouds. Cloud dance tiny alung, ponder a moment, the expression of the fundus of the eyes suddenly a change. It's a spirit beast. This is as like as 2 peas of the beast, the same as the roaring of the 2 animals that she killed at the time. With a powerful burst of spiritual power. Make a quick decision, take the elixir and withdraw quickly. Good. 2 men who belong to the early period of Wuzuan, 2 quick phantoms, have disappeared in the jungle. Cloud dance looking at the direction of men disappear, star eyes micro pick, they are for the elixir? She thought for a moment that the last elixir had been given to Zhou Feiyu. She expected to make friends with the herd by using the elixir. Without the elixir, it would not be possible. Now that we are here, let's get some more elixirs by the way. 1 spirit beast is already so fierce. I really look forward to the fighting power of a group of spirit beasts. If it can still be used by her, it will be better after thinking about it. The purple shadow lingered for a moment and disappeared completely in the blink of an eye. The wind element, the master of cloud dance, follows the roar of the spirit beast just now, but he is shocked by the scene in front of him. There is little fear in the star eyes for a long time. 2 spirit beasts are swallowing their prey. The prey was eaten only 2 heads. It's just the 2 men. Just for a while, the 2 Wuzans were killed in their early strength. She didn't seem to feel any fighting breath. When she looked around, there were no fighting traces except 2 traces of fighting spirit. These 2 men were killed with only 1 slap. What a terrible force. Cloud dance steps, but stepped on a hard thing, drooping eyes to see, a bloody arm is at her feet, arm is still soft, step on still have some strength. The frightful color in her cold eyes had not retreated. She could clearly feel the power of the 2 spirit beasts, which was irresistible to her. Let Wu Zong later she irresistible power. Now she knows that the array and border outside the jungle are used to imprison spirit beasts, and these spirit beasts are basically invincible enemies. Compared with these 2 spirit beasts, the 2 spirit beasts she met were just pets. Oh! Suddenly, one of the spirit beasts seemed to find Yunwu, and his red eyes were staring at the hidden direction of Yunwu. Cloud dance heart trembles. This is the end. As soon as the purple figure is swept, it appears in front of 2 spirit beasts. Now that it has been found, it doesn't make any difference whether it is hidden or not. The 2 spirit beasts immediately took on fighting form and gathered together. It seems that they should cooperate together and have a good tacit understanding. The scarlet mouth of the spirit beast is dripping with blood, 2 tusks are left with traces of flesh and blood, and a pair of eyes reflect the figure of cloud dance, which reveals these 2 words, want to eat. 1 man and 2 beasts deadlocked and looked at each other for a while. One of the spirit beasts finally couldn't help it, and the saliva flowed down Yunwu's face turned black. It's a hopeless thing. Is it true that Zhu Beiji's daughter-in-law didn't have so much money? Seeing that the 2 spirit beasts didn't attack her like those 2 people, it should be because her martial arts made them feel oppressed, so they didn't dare to act rashly. Cloud dance eyes am I cold way, want to eat me? 2 spirit beasts looked at her, nothing happened. Just in time, I want your Naiden too. How do you do it? Cloud dance slightly pick eyebrow, ask away. The spirit beast is still quiet, still looking at her. You can't talk. The cloud dances the eye ground to flit over to put on a doubt, seem to vaguely understand there too at this time of reaction. Still not moving cloud dance eyes color a cold, heart scold 1,000 times your uncle, suddenly feel a little silly. Also want to use language to communicate with them, casting pearls before swine. However, it's strange that the spirit beast in the ancient town is inferior to them. They already know the language of human beings. Why don't they too? Is it because I've been trapped here for a long time and haven't touched human beings, so I can't speak? This is also a justifiable reason. But this is tragic for her. Although they have fighting wisdom, they have no communication skills. They planned to communicate with each other in language to win by wisdom, but now they are all in vain. In the next second, two powerful brushes came. Cloud dancing figure twisted, phantom remained, and sidestepped to avoid a fierce blow. Bang! After the spirit beast fell to the ground, a burst of dust suddenly stirred up, just like 1,000 layers of waves, flying and flowing. After being hazy and clear, there were two big pits under the spirit beast. What amazing power! Cloud Dance's eyes are cold. In his hand he holds a big black flame knife, twining the burning heat of the burning unicorn. The flame is burning, splashing out a strong wave of power. All of a sudden, the spirit beast turns around fiercely, and a force that has no parry power suddenly strikes. The power that the black flame sword attacks and infects is like Gossamer's power. Although only for a moment, but enough. Pa! There was a loud noise of oppression. Purple figure suddenly fierce retreat, bushy jungle, confused, purple figure embarrassed impact on the bush, constantly retreat. Suddenly, the shadow of Huachilin appeared on Yunwu's chest. She felt that there was a lot of power in her body. Even her uncontrollable body stopped now. Cloud Dance half kneels on the ground, purple robe has been in tatters, green silk spread, the whole body is full of a hot red light, purple pupil eyes seem to be burning up. The whole person exudes the heat that is hard to get close to, but with the cold that can't be ignored. Perfect combination of contradictions. The spirit beast looked at the Cloud Dance standing up and unconsciously stepped back. A drop of cold sweat flowed over his ferocious head, and his eyes were afraid. Unicorn is the natural enemy of the spirit beast. Although Yunwu doesn't know this, it doesn't seem that it's different now. Cloud Dance pulled a coquettish and bloodthirsty sneer, step by step into the spirit beast. Is it you hand in the elixir, or do I take it out? Although spirit beasts can't speak and haven't been in touch with humans, Duo Sha can understand what Yunwu is saying. Hearing her words, the two spirit beasts stepped back again, and their pace began to be a little unsteady. Their eyes were afraid when they looked at Huachilin, but they were afraid when they looked at Yunwu. In any case, a person who can control the unicorn is far more terrible than the unicorn itself. Girl, how did you provoke the spirit beast? It seems that Bai Lao, who has been sleeping for a long time, suddenly wakes up and some hoarse voices come into Yunwu's mind. Cloud Dance hears Bai Lao's words, the fundus of the eye is surprised, the light is fleeting. Bai Lao, you wake up at last. Then Cloud Dance and mouth bloodthirsty slightly young, take its elixir. Bai Lao was silent for a long time, but he worried, girl, leave quickly. This spirit beast has companions. Even if you kill them, you can't deal with the rest spirit beasts. Cloud Dancing scarlet eyes swept a deep, there are companions? Is this a group of spirit beasts in the jungle? And the two of them just forage together? I'd like to leave. Do you think they'll let me leave? Cloud Dance looks at those two spirit beasts, the eye ground clear on flits by. Although they were afraid of Yunwu, they didn't mean to leave or run away. Obviously, they didn't want to let her go for nothing. Bai Lao sighed, and then suddenly felt the scorching heat from Yunwu's body. Li Mao was slightly surprised. Girl, what is that in your body? Hoarse old voice rings again. Bai Lao felt the powerful power of Huachilin in Yunwu. He was very surprised. The power was not possessed by magic, but her new power. Cloud Dance slightly drooped eyes, glanced at his chest and said calmly, Fire Unicorn. You ate the Millennium Golden Unicorn? And absorb all the strength? White old startled, voice suddenly sharp many. The Millennium Unicorn fruit is hard to find for thousands of years. She has absorbed all its strength and condensed into a fire unicorn. This even 1,000 years ago, I'm afraid no one was able to absorb all of them and condense them. What's the matter with this girl? She's full of surprises. Yunwu stops and plans to chat with Bai Lao. I was hungry by accident. I ate unicorn fruit to satisfy my hunger, So I gathered fire unicorn by accident. Cloud Dance micro-pick eyebrow. Words seemed to be quite helpless. She was just hungry. Seeing that it had both spiritual power and food, she ate it. Who knows that when a blind cat meets a dead mouse and makes such a strong unicorn in her body, she also refuses. Okay, you have reached the late period of Wuzong. Bai Lao then more surprised voice, once again raised a few decibels. Cloud Dance's eyes swept a trace of helplessness. Now is in the upper bound, how can we survive without strength? In fact, what she wants to say is that there are too many good things in the upper world. It's much faster to improve strength than in the human world, but it's also much more dangerous than in the human world. You said you came to the upper boundary? The voice of Bai Lao's surprise once again permeated his mind, but the words were full of flavor. You don't have to worry so much. I probably know about the witch clan. I'll deal with the rest myself. She knew that while Bai wanted her to investigate the witch clan, he didn't want her to be in danger, but now she had a reason to fight. In order to stop being chased and killed, in order not to let danger ambush everywhere, she has to fight. The first goal is the Beast Gate. Girl, don't force yourself. Oh, do you think I will force myself? At the end of the speech, the powerful power of Guwu Degeo was thrown out in an instant and directly attacked the two spirit beasts. The two beasts leaped cleverly, dodged a blow, changed their direction instantly, and fought back to the cloud with anger. Bang! There was a loud roar. Yunwu's broadsword directly cut off the two spirit beasts. The power of Moyan and Huachilin combined, and a strange light suddenly appeared, directly flying the spirit beasts for tens of meters. Oh! The spirit beast rolled to the ground and let out a groan of pain. After pulling out the painful struggle, he never got up again. Cloud Dance lips cape Tiny Yong, sneer to raise. You too of inside Dan I accept. She walked to the spirit beast step by step like death. She tripped over a leg and almost fell down on the way. It's the leg of the man who was just killed. Cloud Dance endure nausea. Clear eyes again to see the spirit beast, the corner of the lip blooming radiant like an ice lotus. Blood, attacked and died the black flame dagger, and the slender jade finger was dripping with blood. The two elixirs were like two glazed eggs, wrapped with blood, and spread out in her hands. Yunwu receives the elixir into the space and plans to turn around and leave. This is the residence of the spirit beast group. If the companion is killed, it will certainly cause the attack of the beast group. If you don't walk, you won't be able to run the cloud dances to attack to die the wind element to intend to leave, but put away the wind element in the next second. The radiant of her mouth was stiff for a moment, and her eyes were cold. It seems that this time is really over. In the front of the jungle, she saw dozens of pairs of scarlet eyes, all eyes staring at her, holding the beast cannot be ignored, is approaching. It's the herd. Yunwu's mouth suddenly drew. When did she lose her luck? Girl, how can you get into some useless trouble? Bai Lao feels the pressure from the herd, and a trace of worry passes through his eyes. He says helplessly, although these spirit beasts can't speak, they breed human wisdom. With their own spirit power, a few of these girls can deal with them, but the herd of more than a dozen spirit beasts is really not easy to deal with. This girl is still making trouble everywhere. Cloud Dance slightly frown, face suave black. Why everyone said she was in trouble? If she wants to get the elixir, it's still to control the spirit beast. You know, how can she deal with the big forces such as the 5-star club of the 10,000 Beast Gate? Is it hard to get rid of every time you can't? That's too bad. Bai Lao, is there any way to deal with them? The cloud dances, the eyes are cold, and the willow eyebrows are slightly frowning. She could feel the force from the herd approaching, and the total force was definitely above her. Bai Lao was silent for a while, but he said, you can get into the herd if you have the elixir, but now you can choose to fight or run, but even if you run, it's hard to escape. Cloud Dance's eyes flashed a sad reminder. The herd almost watched their companion get the elixir. How could they let her in because of the elixir looking up at the sky? The fundus is very complicated. Wheezing. The fierce hurricane smashed all obstacles and came straight across the cloud. At the moment when the cloud dances and eyes drop, the phantom of the spirit beast is already slightly in front of the body. The phantom of the black flame dagger is countless and constantly rotating, gathering the wind around, and the vortex is getting bigger and bigger. Bang! The two collided and roared. The powerful force suddenly hit the ground and scattered. In the blink of an eye, it has spread for tens of meters. Looking around, the round shrubs have been broken by the hurricane just now, and they are floating away like powder. And cloud dance is also affected by the power, although barely stay in the same place, but because of resisting the power, the breath in the body is constantly churning. Now the cloud dance is a little afraid. The magic power in her body has not been very stable. Every time she gets a huge impact, she will feel uneasy. In the end, she will suffer from the pain. Now she, even if want to fight hard once, is also very difficult, at least to ensure that they can't let what huge impact. Girl, you haven't completely controlled the magic bite. You can't be impacted anymore. Otherwise, you can't bear the power of the magic bite's counterattack. Hearing Bai Lao's words, Yunwu's eyes were cold. How could she not know the feeling that she was about to explode? It's not like she didn't feel it just because I'm afraid. That feeling is really helpless. More than a dozen spirit beasts on the opposite side have scattered around, surrounded the cloud dance in the middle, and all of them are greedy with their tusks. They want to eat her immediately. The cloud dances and frowns slightly. The spirit beast's speed is very fast. Although Jin Ling's speed is above them, there are boundaries and arrays outside the jungle. The stagnant Kung Fu spirit beast will catch up with them. Suddenly, that pair of evil purple eyes emerge, a trace of spirit on. The corner of the mouth raises a smile. How can she forget that good thing? The next second, Yunwu takes out a pendant from the space, which is the water drop pendant from Jia Yunan. The pendant can make the water nearby urgent. The bush is so lush that you can hear the sound of the waterfall. There must be a big flow of water. Cloud Dance uses its power to urge the pendant, and suddenly the whole jungle rumbles like an earthquake precursor. The more than a dozen spirit beasts who have been staring at the clouds all the time are slightly shaken by the roaring sound of the earth's surface, and the sharp eyes of the beast are a little scared. Yunwu can almost smell the smell of water. In the next second, it is like the whirlpool of huge waves falling from the sky, directly wrapping Yunwu. Under the white-blue sky, the water is shining with dazzling light, setting off the spots and crevices of towering trees. It is bright and dark, like a long sword with clear edges. The road it passes through is completely flattened. Yunwu's heart was shocked and his eyes were shocked. Now the whirlpool looks like a harvester, where it falls down in the blink of an eye. Yunwu was surprised. She was already in the whirlpool. The whirlpool is more than 10 meters long. A dozen spirit beasts scattered around Yunwu are rolled in by the whirlpool. The next second, a strange scene makes Yunwu's eyes squint. The spirit beasts were rolled around the vortex, and the vortex, like a blade, directly cut more than 10 spirit beasts into pieces, whining constantly, blood splashing in the vortex, expanding and blooming. It's like a blood-colored flower blooming in the water, with a bloody taste. And she was in the whirlpool, and nothing happened the last time I grabbed Jiyu South. The power of the water whirlpool made her skin ache, but it was far less powerful than now. Spirit beast skin is the most solid protective cover. It's so easy to be peeled. Is this vortex increasing with the power of users? Jia Yunan doesn't have any martial arts skills at all. He dominates by Jia Qingchun. So the whirlpool power he used was destroyed by her, and she was the strength of the later period of Wuzong, so even the ferocious spirit beast had no power to resist? Oh, it's a shocking potential power. Girl. Bai Lao's hoarse voice came again. From the beginning, when he saw the water whirlpool, the surprise in his eyes never stopped. Now after a long time, the shocked words were incomplete. Cloud Dance micro frown. You sleep too long, speak not agile? For Bai Lao's stammer, Yunwu just shook her head in doubt. How could she know how terrible the power hidden in this unintentional thing? How can you let the power of nature exert so much power, Looking at the power of the whirlpool, Bai Lao was shocked and then pondered endlessly. There is no extraordinary luck. Who can easily get the key to start the power of nature? If ordinary people use the power of nature, the power can be comparable to that of a powerful person. However, it is even more difficult for a strong person to achieve the power of nature above Wuzong. I'm afraid 1 in 100,000 people is also a miracle. And the force of nature controlled by this girl has surpassed her own Wuzong class. It seems that the power is still breaking through, beyond the scope of his perception. The key to the 4 forces of nature was destroyed thousands of years ago. It was predicted that the key would heal automatically after thousands of years, but it would not appear again. How could the key of water force suddenly appear? The power of nature? The cloud dances, the contemplation passes by, and the willow eyebrows frown slightly. Is the pendant the key to the power of water? Is there any other force of nature? Since there is the power of water, there must be other natural forces. Girl, it has been a miracle for thousands of years to get the power of water. If the key of the power of nature is so easy to get, is there any law in the world to follow? There is something delicious in Bai Lao's words. The girl's luck is too good. Is it? Cloud Dance lips a hook, revealing a mysterious smile. You know, how careless she was to get the pendant, but now that she knows the purpose and secret of the pendant, she will know how dangerous she is now. How could Jia Qingchun let her go after losing such a good thing? Bang! In the mid-air of the jungle, a flash of huge thunder split the sky, carrying out the whole cloud sky. Cloud Dance raised her eyes and looked at the suddenly darkened cloud sky. A touch of surprise passed by the bottom of her eyes. Suddenly, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and the whole sky was like a dark night. With the continuous flash of thunder, only the lonely and strong silver in the dark sky suddenly appears, with the burst of erosion. What the hell? Looking at the strange changes in the air, the cold light in Cloud Dancing eyes is more and more dignified. The next second, that pair of purple eyes suddenly raised to look at the top of the head, a flash of stunned, a strong silver reflected in the eyes, constantly spread, boom. After a loud roar, I vaguely heard the sound of the waterfall pouring out again. In an instant, the mountain and river recovered excellently, the invasion of darkness disappeared in an instant, and the sky was calm again. Long Qingxie, who is in the inn, looks at this strange scene, and the look in his golden eyes is dim. More than an hour, enough time. Enough for her to cause such a big thing. Golden eyes slightly lift. White shadow instantly disappeared in the inn, still in a state of surprise. Shangguan take back his eyes, followed by Dragon Qingxie swept out of the inn. In the sonorous and roaring jungle, this moment is eerie and quiet. On the ground are the remains of more than a dozen spirit beasts, which have been charred by the huge thunder just now, and have completely become a pool of black charcoal. In the middle of the remains of the spirit beast, there is a crack. The crack is not deep enough to see the bottom. It is as wide as one person. At the edge of the crack, you can clearly see a downward sliding fingerprint. It's like someone who wants to come up and slip down. Boom! There was a roar of vibration from the ground. The crack began to get closer and closer, and finally it completely coincided with each other. It seemed that nothing had happened on the surface of the earth. The only thing that could prove the attack here was this mess and more than a dozen wrecks. At the border in the distance, a white phantom came like a hurricane. In the tens of meters opposite him, 5 spirit beasts came after hearing the sound. The evil figure of the dragon has stopped, and the dangerous breath in the golden eyes is faintly scattered. Looking at the 5 spirit beasts in front of us, the killing intention is everywhere. He put something on Yunwu. If he felt that she was in danger, it could guide him to find her, but he found that he could never find her again. Looking around, except for a messy battle trace, I didn't find her. Why does Gaiden stop here? Looking at the charred remains of the spirit beast around him, his eyes flashed a dark shadow. Long Qingxie droops his eyes slightly, and his tight lips are full of danger. Somehow, he always feels that the place under him is strange, but he can't see anything unusual. Oh! The spirit beast stares at the dragon and gives out a howl. It's enough to stuff your teeth. Kill our companion and eat him alive. In the jungle, the howling frequency, each sound is extremely frightening. Dragon tilts evil lips cape to draw up one to wipe almost bloodthirsty outline. Evil spirit danger, know where she is? Ouch. The spirit beasts howled together again. Since I don't know, I'll bury her missing. Inhan's voice is like walking on thin ice, chilly, and the temperature around seems to drop suddenly. Powerful épée in hand, instant volleying rotation, swept the dark haze, mirage countless, but so real. He is walking like a leisurely court, walking step by step to the spirit beast. His white figure is hidden in the dark haze, and seems to have been infected by a trace, and exudes the ghost-like shrouding. The evil face is still the same as before, but the smile of evil lips is extremely dangerous and bloodthirsty, and the golden eyes are also full of strange light at the moment. If you can't find her, all the living things here will be buried with you. To pay Mirage Shuttle was repeatedly beat back by the powerful spiritual power, wave after wave to attack again, a steady stream. Finally, the blood attacked the bush, and under the dark haze, it was a painful and twisted figure. Long Qingxia stood in the haze, and the pale face and blood stains on his body were particularly eye-catching in the haze. From the beginning to the end of the scene, Shangguan could see the dark and strange dragon, and his handsome eyes passed a rare shade. He has the same dark power as Xiaowu. It's so weird. Is this still him? In a flash, the black haze disappeared, leaving only a white figure standing in front of the spirit beast's body. Dragon Qing evil eye color hair dark, very few frown. She is here, why can't she feel a breath? Why not feel it? But there was a trace of confusion in his deep eyes. He closed his eyes slightly and tried to calm down his restless thoughts. Similarly, Shangguan tirelessly shuttled through the jungle, trying to find her breath. Her robe was scratched by the bush, and most of the jungle had no breath of her. Uninhibited eyes full of worry and doubt, Shangguan shook his head slightly. He never believed that Yunwu would be dead. Xiaowu, do you really? It's impossible. She's always so lucky. How could it be like this? That you're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.